Keep going.
Remember that name. Good pizza with 3 Z's, baby. 3 Z's.
What's up, guys? This week we got a very special guest. The homie Carter from Paper Planes came through to share his story with us. He's the founder and president of Paperplanes Extracts. Founded the company back in 2012 and was one of the first concentrate brands to provide Prop 215 dispensaries with dabs, and he is now one of the last remaining extract brands from the Prop 215 era. Born and raised in Grass Valley, graduated college at UNF, spent the last 11 years in Sacramento and LA building his business. He has some of the best live resin that you can ask for. The cards are fire, the product is fire. I can't wait for you guys to hear this story. We'll see y'all on the show. Carter, man, thanks for coming out, bro.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Out, man. It's a pleasure to have you, and for you to take time away from your busy schedule to kick it with us, man. I really appreciate that, man. Thanks for coming through,
man,
bro.
It's nothing.
It's
a pleasure, dude. I've done a bunch of different like corporate style podcasts recently, so to come on to a culture one,
we're gonna cut loose a
little bit more, a little chill when you walk in.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, no doubt. So yeah, man, I've been following your story for a while. I've been smoking your products for a while. We got a gang of fucking friends in common.
Yeah.
You fucking know my dad better than a lot of people in the States.
Your dad is awesome.
Some way, somehow, he knows Pops. You know what I'm saying? Pops beating up them streets for us.
Yeah, your dad kills it.
Yeah, he's good, man.
He's always on time. He waits if there's any issues. He's super patient.
Yeah.
Which from anybody showing up to a facility, he reminds me of my dad in a lot of ways.
Nice.
Did your dad smoke growing up? Was he a stoner?
Not really.
He wasn't?
No. I mean, he says he stopped when I was born and shit, but my mom says different.
He seems like he's got the chill.
He's got
chill vibes.
So he ain't used to be always that chill, bro. To be honest with you,
really?
He used to always be that chill. This later version of him that y'all know is nice. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
Yeah, it's very nice. But yeah, man, he he used to drive cabs in Essex County, New Jersey for a fella named Blackie, who allegedly was a capo in one of the 5 families. So,
So
allegedly,
he's been driving.
So I'd say this, man. He's gonna make sure your shit gets to where it needs to go. You know what I'm saying?
All right, that's what's up.
We're gonna leave it there. We'll leave it there.
I love that.
So yeah, man, and he's good. He's a good guy. So before we dive into the cannabis story, let's dig into the story behind the story, man. What was it like for young Carter growing up? Where'd you grow up, bro?
I grew up in Grass Valley, California. You know where that's at?
Oh, I love Grass Valley. It's one of my favorite towns.
Yeah,
G Valley, baby.
It's like, it's a hidden little gem for California. Not too many people know about it. Humboldt always takes the cake as like the weed town of California. Everybody knows about that throughout the country.
For sure.
But Grass Valley is kind of like the best kept secret, for heading up to the hills and getting good weed. And growing up there, I mean, it was kind of just your normal middle class upbringing. My dad was a teacher and a coach. My mom was a home care nurse, and pretty standard, dude. I played sports in high school, but I remember like one of the first times I even saw weed on my dad's desk. It was like, oh shit, like that's crazy. My dad's getting high, Like at that point in my life, I was still like not even into cannabis when I was 14, 15.
Okay.
So when I first saw weed on his desk, it's funny. He used to drive my girlfriend and I home at night.
Yeah.
And like for a month or two straight, dude, he would be driving so stoned. He'd drive like 35, 40 miles an hour. And my girlfriend lived far away. We were like, we couldn't drive, so we had parents pick us up and drive us, which is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So he'd get super lit at night, take us 45 minutes, drop her off, and then come back.
Yeah, man, you gotta smoke before that fucking ride.
But I was such a square at that point, dude. I yelled at him. I yelled at him. I was like, dude, you're getting high, fucking, you're driving like 35 miles an hour. It's embarrassing as shit. Like, kind of got into him. He pulled me into the classroom his next day, and he was like, I gotta talk to you. He's like, listen, I do everything for this family. I make the money. If I want to get fucking stoned, I'm gonna get stoned. That's the fucking deal.
That's the fucking deal.
Yeah, just like that.
Pops.
Yeah, and from that day forward, I was like, all right. I mean, I guess it is what it is. People get high. He's cool. He's handling his shit. Yeah. And that was really my first like opening up to the idea of like maybe I'll try this. Like let's see what it's about.
Sure. After that convo inspired you to try trees?
Yeah,
That's
because like
great,
I guess like I said, I was almost like embarrassed or ashamed that my dad was smoking pot, which is such a stigma thing with society.
Sure, man,
That's
course,
like ingrained into you at a young age.
It is, man.
This is a bad thing, right? And having my own father kind of sit down and tell me, look, this isn't bad. I'm gonna do it, and I'm relaxing. I'm taking care of business. I don't, it's not like I'm smoking so much I can't get to my job. Like he hasn't missed a day of work in probably 30 years, something like that at that point. So I felt like, all right, if he's smoking weed and like getting by, maybe this isn't so bad as I thought it was.
Yeah.
And that kind of just opened up a door, dude. Started smoking with my friends. But really, from there was another family member who really got me in the game, and that was my sister.
Oh,
yeah. My older sister was, she was plugged in, dude, way more than I was in my town. So, like, she was 5 years older than me. She had all the grower friends, and, like, she knew about the game. I didn't know about the game at all. But when I graduated high school, she pulled me aside and was like, look, you're going to get your cannabis script. You're going to post it in one of my homies' gardens. And that's a cooperative. That was the business model back then. Everybody had to have a certain amount of scripts to justify the plant count, right? But in our town, people weren't doing it like crazy big, like thousands of plants.
Yeah.
Like big for our town was probably 99 plants, something like that. Yeah. And that was if you were really doing it, right? So you had all these like small, successful growers flying under the radar of like the big cartel grows that were out in our town.
Yeah.
There'd be like 1,000 plant grows by the river, and those kind of took all the attention. So if you were like a quiet, good dude with the family and you wanted to have a garden in GV, you could,
Yeah.
So she was like, look, it's not going to be, a big risk to you. Just go get your script. We'll post it. At the end of the year, he's going to give you, a pound of weed or a little bit of money. I was like, all right, fuck it.
Cool.
So, yeah, I was like, I'll try it out, right? So went to get the doctor's script. That was an experience in itself. Like in my town.
What year was this?
This was probably 2005.
Okay.
So in my town, we had like a legitimate weed doctor, a guy that wasn't just giving out scripts for cash all day. He wanted all your paperwork.
Whoa.
He wanted all your records. He wanted to have, a couple appointments with you and really verify that this is what you need. He did it by the book, right?
Sure.
So that experience was a little bit trickier than what I thought it would be. I was like, oh, I'm just going to go in here and get my script. Turns out I had to go get records and do all this shit. And like,
this is a Nug MD, pay $39, get a quick video chat, and then, here you go.
I went to those later on and was like, damn, dude, I should have just driven to Sacramento. I don't know why I was doing this up in my town. But yeah, anyway, got the script, posted it, and at the end of the year, I ended up taking the weed instead of the money. And that was just the start of it all right there. I had to sell that weed to get money.
Learn that bust down.
Going to college. Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, the value of weed with that time in 2005, pound of outdoor going for like 2,800.
Oh yeah.
If it's good, sometimes even 32, which is crazy to think about. And that's why all these guys are in my town are just crushing it at that time. I mean, like growing up, you see this and you're like, holy shit, these fools are making whatever, tons of money. Yeah, and living a good life and fucking pretty small garden, manageable by like a team of people that are all their homies.
Yeah.
To me, that was like the light bulb clicked.
Yeah.
It was like, dude, you're telling me I can make money with my friends, sell weed, have freedom, like get high every day. I mean, dude, I was hooked. Yeah. From the start, I was like, this is basically what I need to be doing.
No doubt.
Yeah. But, from there, ended up going to college, hated it. Like I was doing college to kind of appease my parents.
Sure.
Yeah, they were like, really wanted me to go. My weed game wasn't all that tight in the beginning, so it's like nobody's really believing in you off the bat. They're just like, dude, you're selling some weed. Like, what are you doing with your life, bro? Yeah. And so that was kind of the vibe. So I decided to go to college.
What college did you go to?
UNR up in Reno.
Okay.
University of Nevada, Reno. And I had a ball up there. I met some of my best friends that I still have to this day, and I'm really glad I went. But like being in school was depressing as shit to me.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it. And like hustling was the only thing that gave me a little bit of like anything in my life. Like, oh, this is worth it, getting up or want to do something, trying to, like everything else was like, damn, dude, this world is fucked. I don't want to do anything else, So I felt a little lost in college, but ended up graduating with a teacher's degree. And
no shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So social studies, secondary education. Funny story about that was when I was graduating, I was like, hustling weed, and then I got to go teach seniors over at a high school.
Yeah.
So that was a big fucking mind fuck.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I realized
what was that like?
That was when everything switched again. Was like, oh, I'm never gonna be a teacher.
This ain't it.
Yeah, this is, I'm like, I'm not the guy.
These little shitheads.
Yeah, and you be in front of the class teaching, you're high. I be getting high before everything at that point in my life. So I'm like, I don't know, dude. I don't think this is I don't think this is the look, dude. So I did TAing for like a semester, and I was lost at that point, to be honest, again, because like even though I was hustling, shit wasn't all like what it cracked up to be. I wasn't crushing it or nothing like that. I was just maintaining, maintaining my life. So I decided to give it all up at that point and got a real estate job, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Circa what years was this?
So yeah, that would probably be around
the 08 bubble?
2010 probably.
2010, okay.
It took me a minute to graduate.
Okay.
Yeah, it took me like 6.5 years, and that was tough. You know, I was happy
I
did it.
bro. It's all good.
Where'd you graduate from?
Kane University, Jersey.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, did a little 5-year party.
I mean, you know, like it's funny looking at college. You're like, there's a lot of value that comes from it, but when you're in it, you might not be able to see it. You know, just
fuck no, bro.
Being able to get things done on time, showing up to class, doing homework, presenting projects. All these things help develop you in some way that maybe you don't noticing at the time.
Accountability and shit.
All that.
Show up.
I'm very happy that I did complete it. But yeah, around that time, I was kind of done with weed because it was so risky up in Reno. It was just like, this isn't the Grass Valley thing.
Yeah, no.
This is much different in Nevada back then. Now it's legal, but back then it was very illegal in Nevada.
Yeah.
So I decided, fuck it, I'll get this real estate job. Try this on for size and kind of give up the grow and give up hustling for the moment.
Were you growing at this point too?
Yeah, I was growing in GV, so I had a little garden in GV.
You doing depths or outdoors, like full-term season?
Mostly full-term shit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, in the beginning there weren't many depths in our towns, like, and with the outdoor prices being so high, it really it didn't justify it quite yet. But yeah, I got that real estate job, and then right within a year, I'm like depressed again. It was fucking crazy. I'm sitting there, I'm like releasing property out, and I'm like, dude, I fucking hate this shit. You know, like this is once again, I'm in a job that I have no passion for. I don't care about it. You know, like every day is just a drag. So I started leasing out to like growers.
Oh, look at you.
Because I did warehouse space.
Tight.
So like kind of fell back into it pretty quick. After a year, I was like, some people would come through, and it's so funny. These dudes would come through, you know, not knowing that I'm a hustler, and they're like, they're just so obvious that what they're doing is what they're doing. Yeah. It's like, dude, okay, bro, I get it. Like, you're going to grow weed in my space. Like, can you just tell me what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And the ones I had a good relationship with, we would hook them up. And then, like, Easy Clone was one of my first tenants. You know, Easy Clone?
I've heard of them,
the system.
Yeah.
They came up with, like, the Easy Clone system. They were a tenant of ours. We had some, like, mushroom guys. We had some indoor growers. And next thing you know, I'm, like, back in this little ecosystem of hustlers and people, you know.
Bro.
So then
what a trip.
So then again, I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do? I know I like this, but it's still risky. I don't really have it together yet, and that's when Extracts came along, dude.
Okay.
So that's like 2011, right around there.
Sure is.
I take my first dab. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this? You know, like everybody, you're kind of high school high again.
Yeah.
You're like paranoid, tripping, like I don't want to go outside type of shit.
Yeah.
Which to me was like, I haven't been high like that in so long.
And it took you so little to make that happen. It fucked me up.
Yeah. And then you look on Weed Maps, it's going for 40 or 50 a gram.
Yeah. What's up, pizza fam? It's your boy JP, Good Pizza. Check this out. I've been getting a lot of questions on where I can find the fire good pizza. Check this out. We got you covered. We're in NorCal, SoCal, Central Valley, San Diego. We got you covered on the slices. Peep the list. Go check out the shop. Tell them Good Pizza sent you. Peace, love, Good Pizza.
Shatter back then. It's going for 40 or
Coke
50.
prices.
Coke prices,
You feel
dude.
me?
It's so funny you say that because I've said that so many times, and then I've been told in interviews maybe not to say that.
Right.
But it is, bro. That's the first thing that came to
You're on
mind.
the Good Pizza podcast.
Yeah.
Man. We
can
talk
say
about Coke on the Good Pizza
we
podcast,
can say what
feel
we
me?
want. So yeah, that was my thought. I was like, this is fucking cocaine pricing, dude. Like, what is this shit?
Yeah.
And so I just YouTubed and Facebooked my way into researching about what BHO was.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really the start of Paperplanes Extracts. From that day forward, I spent all my time just developing tech, fucking with growers in my hometown, taking their trim. Around that time, they're throwing away all the trim.
Whoa.
Nobody's
even do distillate with it?
No, distillate's like kind of coming on the scene 2011.
Yeah, you're right. Those were both slow.
You get like the Dragon Ball Z pictures from Clear Scientists coming out, and people being like, "Oh, what the fuck is this?" And it kind of, you know, got in the psyche, but for the most part, people, you know, it just wasn't a thing yet. So yeah, all the trim out of these grows, people are burning at that time, or they're just throwing out because cops, when they would show up to raid a property, they're never differentiating between trim and bud.
Yeah, that's right.
So when you are a grower and you pull your whole harvest, you got everything trimmed up and out the door, but yet you got 400 pounds of trim sitting there. You're still at risk.
Yes, you are.
From somebody coming in and telling you this is not okay, this is illegal, you're going to jail, or you're getting fined, one or the other, right?
Sure.
So yeah, it was an opportunity, right? It was like, holy shit, there's this product selling in stores. I know how to make it, and motherfuckers are literally burning the input material.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think I can do this. And it took me about 2 months, and I quit that real estate job. I made probably 4 times what my salary was there. In the beginning, it was very good.
Wow.
You know.
How'd you learn how to blast?
There was YouTube, man. That's it. A YouTube BHO, and like you know, from college, another thing is like you learn how to research a little bit. Yeah. You learn how to find commonalities in articles, and then you learn reputable sources, how to validate if somebody's bullshit and just a crazy website, or if they're an actual scientist and they know what they're talking about. So just having that kind of knowledge, it helped me. You know, I was able to kind of weed out like who are these meth head BHO producers online, because it was wild. People blowing up in their kitchens. You know, and like wild shit between like, what is that? And then how can we do this safely, clean, and, you know, not kill myself, bro. Yeah. Because it was sketchy.
Did you ever blow yourself up?
I've never, no.
Close?
I have a story about that. This fucking guy story.
Oh, yeah, we'll save it.
Okay, I'll save that for a minute.
Good one. Where are you going with this?
Yeah, but so it was dangerous though, you know, like learning how to do it. I was downtown Sacramento in one of my really good friends and roommate's apartment. He was very kind enough to let me experiment in the apartment. You know,
what a guy.
He was a guy. He's still one of my good friends till today, and got to research it on YouTube and just buying master cases of butane at the smoke shop in glass tubes and coffee filters and whatever, and just started doing runs, bro. I didn't start selling the shops until I felt like we had something unique. You know, in the beginning, it was just kind of like trial and error, like smoke it, see if it's good, give it to the homies.
You guys purging the gas out? Like, how are you pulling the
you know,
butane
the
out?
same websites that are still up today are like bestpurgevac.com or some shit like that.
You were using vac?
Yeah, you would do, back then, you would do a pressure pot with a Harbor Freight rotary vane pump, which like is so bad. First of all, they don't really pull all the butane out.
Right.
Second of all, they exhaust like this
also got exhaust.
savage oil out of the pump that's all into your room and smells. And if you're in a garage or residential area, your neighbors are like, yo, what the fuck is going something's on smelling from your garage. It's weird, you know, like just raises eyebrows.
Man, the early days.
Those were the early days, dude. I mean, I had some homies I partnered up with, and definitely helped me, you know, shared some knowledge. One of them was a homie by the name of Dylan from Dab Wars. He was kind of one of the first dudes who showed us how to de-wax cannabis extracts. Okay. Do you know a little bit about de-waxing?
De-waxing? I don't believe so.
Yeah, so when you de-wax a cannabis extract, essentially in the plant, in that bud that you're smoking right now, there's chlorophyll, there's you know, waxes, and then there's lipids. There's fats, chlorophyll, and waxes. Those are the 3 main things. And when you make a cannabis extract, if you keep those in the product, you result in usually a harsher smoke, not as clean of a flavor, and not as good of a color. Okay. So you end up with these 3 things that kind of, you know, make a BHO extract, you know, look like shit and not really smoke good. Right. So in order to remove those 3 items, you have to drop your butane mixture down to about -80 to a -100, which is really cold.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about now.
So what we would do is we'd blast into mason jars. These mason jars would sit inside a dry ice chest filled with dry ice and alcohol.
Okay.
And they'd be closed. And then within maybe an hour, all of those waxes and lipids and chlorophyll, it all solidifies due to the temperature.
Okay.
And then you run that through a thing called a Buchner filter.
Okay.
That Buchner filter catches all those waxes, all the nastiness, and leaves you with just THC and terpenes coming out the other side. So that was big for us, learning that early on, like back in 2012 when not a lot of people are doing that type of thing. That gave us a huge edge over the competition. Our shatter which was all available for BHO at the time. Our shatter was just cleaner, it smoked smoother. You got the taste of the terpenes from the flower we were extracting.
Yeah.
And people started to take notice, and that's when we started to hit shops. So that was like 2012.
Versus that fucking just BHO fucking butane.
Poop soup is what we used to call it.
Yeah, bro.
And there's a lot of that because it's not easy taking out all of the unwanted contaminants in an extract.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of care on the manufacturing side, on the post-processing side. You've really got to make sure that you're, crossing your T's and dotting your I's in order to preserve those terps.
Absolutely.
Or else they just go, dude. They're so sensitive. You can end up with, you can have a really good input, and if you don't have a good extractor, they're going to give you something out the other side that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And this is when Paper Planes was born. Were you always Paper Planes? And how did you come up with that name?
Yeah. Paper Planes started in 2012, right after we learned that tech. Originally, I founded it with a group of guys, which I won't mention their names, but they know who they are. And they all helped me, and we worked together. We rented a huge mansion in Newcastle, actually. And we got together and started just blasting, dude.
Nice.
And so that's when it was really formed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, bro. So it's 2012, 13 now. You're starting to hit the stores. The Prop 215 model.
Yeah.
Where does it go from there?
Oh, I have such a crazy story. That's why I'm sorry this is taking so long. But
No,
it's,
bro,
it's wild.
No,
Yeah.
hit me, bro. This is
so,
what we're here for.
So in 2013, my good partner who I started the business with, a lot of them were sending weed back east.
Okay.
Okay. And they were doing it from the same house that we had our lab at.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so we didn't know about any of this.
Return address at the crib?
I don't know all the details, but there was a dude that was living with us and a couple guys that were just hustling, bro. No shade. It is what it is. Everybody's trying to get their money and whatnot. But the fact is that from that location, this guy got a call from a DEA officer and was like, you're under investigation for shipping packs, we're keeping an eye on this, we know about this. And he didn't tell us that he got that call for a week. Yeah, it was a little, at the time we were all upset. Looking back, it is what it is, but he didn't tell us for a week, and that really split up our core group of founders. So when that happened, a lot of people were so sketched out that they didn't want to blast anymore.
Yeah.
And then others were being advised by their attorney that look, dude, if you get caught manufacturing, you're going to jail for 3 to 5 years. If you get caught with a grow, it's a slap on the wrist, essentially. You might see some jail time, but in Grass Valley and those places, none of my friends ever got arrested and went to jail. They usually got fined, and they usually got their plants chopped, shit like that. But if you had a lawyer and you were decent and kind of knew the game, you weren't going to see a lot of jail time. But for manufacturing, you fucking would. They charge you as a drug manufacturer.
Of meth.
Yeah, of meth. Same charge. And it's because it was such a risk. You had people blowing up houses.
Yeah.
So that really caused the kind of the frenzy within our core group of friends. I don't think this is what I want to fucking do anymore,
Yeah.
So at that point, I bought back the company from those 2 or 3 people, and it took everything. It was all the money I had. It was everything I saved up, but I still believed in it. For me, I didn't have another thing. I was all in on Paper Planes. There was no plan B. I'd let go of my gardens. I wasn't hustling weed anymore. I was just an extract guy now all of a sudden, right? So I felt like, fuck it, I'm going to, purchase the equity back and just keep trudging down this path and see what happens.
Okay.
So at that point, we all split up, and I ended up moving back to Grass Valley. So we lived in Newcastle at that time, and then I got a spot way up on the hill. It's like out in Grass Valley, there's roads that are dirt roads that go forever, and there's hundreds of houses that are at the end of them, and you kind of live with a whole new community of folks up there on the hill.
Whereabouts in G Valley were you?
It's North San Juan is
the
Ridge. The Ridge. You know the Ridge.
Shout out to the Ridge, bro.
Yeah, so that was
big ups to Ridge.
The Ridge is where all the best weed's grown in our town, and
Fucking
where
right.
it's its own community too. It's so separated from Nevada City and Grass Valley that the Ridge is its own thing, and people kind of stay up there, and you can disappear up in that bitch. I mean, really nobody's coming up there. As long as you stay in your house and you're not doing a bunch of crazy shit, you can kind of, extract is what I needed to do, right? I was like, I need a safe place to do BHO extracts out in the open without neighbors, and like I need to be outside. That's the other thing about BHO.
You open blasting outside?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but if you were to do that inside in a sketchy situation, you're really putting yourself at risk.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know what the wiring is in your house, your stove, your refrigerator.
Those pilot lights and your fucking
so much shit that people were stupid and not thinking about. So I knew we needed a spot to just be out in the open and kind of do our thing.
No closed loops yet.
No closed loops yet.
No doubt.
So still open blasting. And I mean, dude, every day when you're open blasting is like, they call it running for a reason. They call it running because you're amped up, dude. You're over that butane, and like that butane
is a bomb.
And you're not doing it safe. So your adrenaline and your cortisol, dude, is spiked all day.
Yeah.
You're just like over that shit, and that's what it was. We called it running, and like, you run, what are you running today, And we'd stay up all night, bro. We're addicted. I mean, we really were addicted to it. Like just seeing the oil come out and the fucking Pyrexes and whipping them just batch after batch after batch.
Yeah.
So different than a grow cycle of 3 to 4 months. You're like, dude, I can print the shit. Like
you can print
there's
it.
trim everywhere, like tell me when to go. So we all were it was just me and another homie who I just had as not a partner, but just let me help at this house. Him and I are just out there all night, dude. And then packaging our own shit too.
Oh, wow.
So like small group, running it ourselves, purging it ourselves, packaging ourselves, and then driving down to San Jose Organics was one of the best clubs for us at the time. So we go to San Jose a lot and then back up to the hill. Did that until we saved like 30 grand for a closed loop.
There you go.
Yeah. So
nice.
as soon as we had some money saved up, dude, we drove that cash down to LA, and we met up with the owners of Emotech, which was a closed loop company at the time. The owners were pretty unique individuals. They were more than just extraction equipment guys. They had also kind of started what we now know as live resin.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, they were one of the first people in the game, and they're out in Denver at this time, to take frozen weed, put it inside a closed loop system, and then extract it with -50, -60 degree tane, and keep that frozen through the extraction. And so the first time I got trained on a closed loop, these guys are showing me live resin.
Oh, shit.
So I was really fortunate.
It was like lucky you got that tech,
dude.
bro.
And
what year was this?
This is probably, I've been, 2014, 2013,
wow.
2014.
That's early, bro.
It's early, yeah. There's only a few people that know about it. The guys that do are all these core group of extractors, and Emotech was responsible for a lot of us knowing about this and then experimenting with it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what can we do with this? This is really unique because we're tasting things like we've never tasted before. That was much different than shatter and trim runs. Shatter and trim runs were, by all means, great at the time because we had nothing to compare it against. But the second you had live resin extraction, it was a whole new game. So they kind of put me on game. First time I went down there, purchased the system, they showed me a run, and they were even kind enough to let me run my High Times Cup entry with them down there.
Oh, shit.
Which is super dope. Like,
wow.
Still to this day, I'm thankful to these dudes. Because, they were like, if you got fire, bring it down. I was like, all right. I mean, I got some fire ass indoor. I called up my homie Blake, who he runs Thick Cannabis now in Oklahoma, but he used to be the manager over at North Star Holistic Collective. And got some super fire grape jelly off of him. Grape jelly donut, I think is what it was. He was the breeder of it, and he'd been working on this project for a while, so stoked to get it. And we brought that down to LA, and we ran it, and we ended up placing like 5th in the cup.
Nice, bro.
So as our first entry, we're like,
That's
oh,
awesome.
this is
And
fucking
you
cool.
placed.
Maybe we know something, you know, like
Yeah.
maybe there's something to this that these guys are teaching us and that we've learned over the past couple years. And yeah, from that point, you know, started fucking running on closed loops too.
Was that a live resin entry?
That was
Or
a live.
cured?
That was a live resin entry.
Nice,
yeah, so I
bro.
think that would have been 2013 or 14, which was around our first entry.
Nice. And real quick, if you could just briefly just explain to my audience, I know a lot of people know, but some people don't. What's a open blast and what's a closed loop?
Yeah, so hand me that can of butane right there
Yeah.
real quick, because this is the easiest way to visualize open blasting.
It sure is. Here you go, pal.
Imagine just like you have a glass tube, you know, this bottle, but it's cut out the bottom. You would just take this fucking butane and boom, you start hitting it, right? And
Yeah.
it's going to drip down over that weed. And then right when it gets to the bottom, it's going to go through a coffee filter, a micro screen, and then it's going to drip into a hot Pyrex.
Yeah.
And when it hits that hot Pyrex, that butane starts to evaporate.
Yeah.
And when butane evaporates, it sits on the ground, which is a weird thing that a lot of people didn't know about butane.
Oh, yeah.
So it flows over that pan, and then it, like if we were in this room blasting, the whole room would be covered with butane.
Yeah.
Even on, like, I've heard stories of dogs running through lawns that people were blasting on that sparked the whole lawn, and then boom. Because
Oh my
even
God,
outside, it's sitting down low. It's not raising up and going, you know, out. So that's a trippy part about open blasting and why it's extremely dangerous. No one should do it this day and age. Like, it's so stupid. There's closed loops for everything. Do not open blast. There's no point to it. You're not gonna get better product. You're not gonna execute anything besides like maybe blowing yourself up.
Yeah.
Losing, you know, your face. Like
Yeah.
it's real. Like you can get burns all over your body, and you know. So I highly suggest nobody does that. But in the beginning, we didn't know.
Yeah.
We just didn't know.
No doubt.
You know, and
Nobody did.
it took a while to learn. And so then we're running on a closed loop. And then, dude, once again, like my friend who's helping me blast, he's like, dude, I can't do this shit anymore. It's just too much.
Scary?
Yeah, I'm up all night. I'm here every fucking day. He was driving an hour from Chico back and forth.
Damn.
Yeah, he was putting in work. I mean, and I was a little bit of a psycho too at that time. I mean, I'm much different now than I was then. I was like so like hyper focused on making this brand come to life that a lot of times I wasn't a pleasant person to be around.
No doubt.
So like he was like, I'm over this shit. You're just grinding. This is crazy. Fucking we're splitting ways, right? So then I'm on my own again, dude. So then I'm trying to figure out what am I gonna do? Like, you know, I can't really stay up on the hill any longer. Like, this is just not the place. Like, I'm not really connected to the game up here. I'm so far removed from shit. It's an hour drive into town every time.
Hill life is tough, bro.
It's tough. And I did it for a couple years. And at that point, I moved everything to LA.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. So I had a good friend, Spencer from Crown OG. He wanted to do BHO. And I didn't have anybody left to work with, dude. I was on my own. I was like, I need a team. Like, I need people who want to do this shit.
Yeah.
And so Spencer just wanting to kind of get involved, was like, fuck it. Packed up all my shit, drove down there, started doing runs for Crown OG. Do you know that brand by any chance?
It sounds familiar.
They were big back in the day,
Yeah, it sounds
and they had a
familiar.
really good OG cut, like, you know, any of the rest of the dudes in LA had, but really one of the good ones. And started extracting for them for, I don't know, 6 or 8 months in LA.
Okay.
Yeah, and kind of gave Planes a back burner moment. Was like,
Okay.
I can't do it all alone. These guys have a team of people. Maybe this is an opportunity to start another manufacturing lab for another brand or something like that.
There you go.
You know, like, dude, you're grasping at straws a lot of this time. People think that it's like, you know, you're always making money and shit. It's not like that.
Hell
I was
no, man.
reinvesting all my money, or I was blowing it on dumb shit. Like, it wasn't like I was making all this fucking dough and had like, oh, I can hire a team of employees and fucking crush it. You know, it was really like just staying alive and trying to make it. And at that point, we're in LA. I'm running in like the Valley, dude, in some sketchy fucking warehouse. Within 6 months, I left.
Oh, boy.
It was like a whole new scene. I'm from
Yeah.
NorCal.
Yeah.
There's real gangs in LA. There's real motherfuckers down there that'll like they'll hog tie you, they'll shoot you, they'll take your shit.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. Up in Grass Valley, it's a very unique area where like you don't deal with that shit.
Yeah.
You keep your circle pretty cool. Nobody's jacking you or fucking.
Yeah.
You're not getting like hog tied and a gun pointed at you. that really didn't happen in our town. But as soon as I moved to LA, bro, I heard stories of that shit all the time. And it was like, oh, this is a different fucking game.
Oh, it's a different world down there.
And like
bro.
I might get into some trouble down here. So I fucking left there, dude. I was like, I'm out. I packed up my equipment, my oven. At that point, I'm like, dude, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know how I'm gonna get this brand back going. Like, just not sure.
What year was this?
This is probably now 2015.
Okay.
So once again, no money, just got my equipment. Like, what am I going to do to try to get this thing started again? And I ended up at that point, another homie, it was just a grower. He's like, you can rent my garage.
Nice.
Super cheap, out in Granite Bay. Was very thankful to this dude for helping me out. And he was like, look, you can run in this garage as long as you want. Move your fucking closed loop in, pay me rent, do what you got to do. And so at that point, I'm fully alone, dude. Just running it by myself at this point. No partners, no friends, nothing. Just grinding in this fucking garage like I've been doing for 5 years now at this point. No windows, just oil.
Yep.
Try to move it, package it, da-da-da. I mean, I'm really like, at this point, bro, I'm pretty ran thin. Like, after 4 or 5 years of grinding like that, I was just like, wasn't healthy. I'm not working out. I'm not doing hobbies or things that I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
I'm literally cut off. I'm just like an oil guy. And that's my life. If I talk to you, it's because you either smoke oil with me or you need it or whatever.
Or you want to get something processed.
Yeah, but like other than that, I don't have like a social life or anything like that. And just kept pushing through. And I met one of the guys who really changed my life. One of the dudes, I'm not going to mention his name, but he runs one of the largest dispensary chains in Sacramento.
Oh, no shit.
And was a really, really good dude. And he saw something in our product and in me every time I would do drops to him. He's like, dude, your product really is special. I'm like, fucking somebody's noticing. At this point, I'm like, thank God, like it was moving, but it wasn't like moving like crazy. And he was like, no, dude, this shit moves every time it hits. It's priced right. Like, I want to do this. Like, I got a whole setup for you. You don't have to be out in the fucking cuts on the hill. You don't have to be in the valley. You ain't got to be out in fucking Grass Valley. Like, I got a spot. I own the whole fucking property. Okay. Like, these guys are the real deal now. They're like, and I'm going to give you a deal, 50-50. We'll fucking go in on this venture together. You'll move all your product through my shops and my distributor shops that we have. And they really put me on, dude. And at that time, I was so thankful because, as you know, it was just 5 years of grinding and ups and downs and, just trying to survive. And so that guy really gave me a huge opportunity.
That's
I was
dope,
very
bro.
thankful.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, and that was sick.
I'm very curious who this is.
I'll tell you after the show. Yeah, you'll know.
No doubt.
Everybody knows him a sec. He's the man. But yeah, once we got that, dude, it changed everything. Now we had employees. We had a team of people. We had a little bit of funding. Not much, but like enough to where like if you needed 20 or 30 grand to hire people, you could do that.
Yeah.
And that's when I really learned how to run a business. Like up until that point, I'm just hustling. Now I'm seeing guys like really run businesses. Like, oh, there's accounting, there's inventory managers, there's retail managers, there's fucking all these people that are involved in like, finally I get access to all these things. Yeah. And that's what really made the business grow.
Nice.
It was like I could only do so much alone. I needed a team and a safe spot to operate. And once that happened, it went through the roof.
Nice, bro.
Yeah, and that was like the first sign of any success was 2017 probably.
Okay.
And that's when I felt like finally we're getting some breathing room. Like,
fuck yeah, bro. Yeah. It's a special year for me, man. That's why I moved out here.
It is?
2017,
shit.
August 1st, bro.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was a good year. It's one of my favorite years in my life.
Same here, bro.
Yeah, everything in the industry was perfect at that time. You had like variety of weed. Every shop I'm going to, I'm buying like $400 worth of products before I leave because there's fire being dropped from all the homies.
So many variations, bro.
Yeah, and so we have like 1.5, maybe 2 great years. Yeah. Prop 64. Right?
Prop 64.
So at that time in my life, I'm feeling like, dude, I made it.
Yeah.
This is it. We're printing money. Shit's good.
Yeah.
This business is going to survive. And then boom, reset button. Dude.
Yeah. Here comes the bullshit, the license, the taxes, you fucking name it.
So this is kind of will bring us up to current speed, but the next part was really tricky because when it went legal, the group that I was involved with, once again, didn't want to invest capital into manufacturing. They wanted to invest it into retail or into cultivation.
Got you.
So they let go of all their manufacturing partners.
Ooh.
And once again, I had to buy back all the equity in my business, which was every dollar I had.
Damn it, man.
Saved up again.
Damn, bro.
So then I actually went to a really close friend and grower in my town, and he helped me out with purchasing that equity, and he's now a partner in ownership in our company today. And
cool.
As you can see, there's these key people that help me. Like, I couldn't have done this shit alone. There's a lot of people that helped me through the path, and like, I was so thankful that him and I put together the money and bought back that equity. So Here I am, 2018. I own my whole company, which is nice, but I don't have a facility. I don't know how to get back in the game because now there's all these fucking, regulations.
Yeah.
I've seen what it's like to be somewhat legitimate, and I don't want to go back to the hill or trapping or some garage. Yeah. So I'm kind of like, what the fuck?
There's another crossroad.
What are we going to do, dude?
Yeah.
And I spent 1.5 years scrambling. I mean, I kept my product in the market through like white label shit and third-party packagers and just kind of doing the thing. But I was scrambling. Like at that point, we started consulting for other labs.
Okay.
So you had like new money come in the industry in 2018.
Yes.
And that new money was stupid money. And a lot of it was people that were inexperienced that would go blow $4 or $5 million on a grow or a manufacturing facility. And then within 1.5 years, they were almost out of business. They didn't know what they were really doing. And they needed guys like us to come in and be like, dude,
what are you doing?
This is bad. Yeah, like this isn't live resin. Yeah. This isn't shatter. I don't know what you're making it here.
No
but
doubt.
Like, it wasn't good. So me and my really good friend Clint started consulting for these guys. Clint was one of the dudes who made it with me off buying the equity and stayed on the team. So it was just like me and Clint at this time. We had 2 people. We start consulting, and long story short, they went under. And when they went under, I got lucky. I was always searching for a partner and somebody who could help with capital. And on one day, my really good friend called me. He actually used to be my neighbor. He was like, dude, I want you to meet this guy. I just think that like you and him should meet, I was like, all right, fuck it. I got nothing to lose at this point. I'll meet whoever you want. So we drive over to this guy's warehouse. He's like in the middle of setting up a huge distillate lab. Obviously got money or had money, investors, and but he's starting to realize that distillate lab is going to go to zero at this time in the market. It was not wise to invest tens of millions of dollars into a distillate lab.
No, sir.
Yeah, so he was smart enough to realize that,
Yeah.
and he was asking around for consults and people to come help him.
Okay.
So my homie put us together, and from the day we met, his name's Paul Weiss, we clicked, dude. He had everything I was looking for in a business partner, and I think I had the same for him. So he needed a cannabis guy who knew the game, knew the network, knew the business, knew extracts, to really show him that. And I needed a financial guy to show me how to raise capital, how to fucking organize a team properly, how to get a PR firm, how to get, marketing, all this shit that really I wasn't thinking too clearly about. I was solely focused on product most of the time.
Yeah.
And we clicked, dude, and within 1 year we raised the first $2 million and bought that lab that went out of business.
This is up in Woodland, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you some what do they call it? Some common thread. What's up, guys? Just want to take a quick break to shout out my sponsor, the Gotti brand. Listen, if you want to find the real fire in California, go check out the Gotti brand. They got what you want. They're in NorCal, SoCal, Central Valley, San Diego, all over the state of California. Here's the list. Go check them out. Tell them Good Pizza sent you. The Gotti brand got you guys covered.
Yeah.
So at this point in time, in my cannabis career in California, I was helping Chris start Higher Vibrations and Powerhouse Distro. We were also in that lab when you came in. Somehow we just kept missing each other.
Yeah.
But we were working with that lab. We were white labeling their stuff.
It was called ProTerp.
ProTerp.
That was it.
ProTerp up in Woodland, yeah. And, there was Raina. Was it Raina was there?
I don't
What's her name?
It was Nuri.
Nuri.
Yeah, Nuri was
what I'm talking about. Nuri.
Yeah.
And, the other dude, I forget his name.
Ron.
Maybe Chris. Ron.
Ron.
Man, it was a while ago, guys. Yeah, man. So I remember you coming up in there, and then Chris was saying, "Yeah, Carter from Paperplanes here." I was like, "Oh, word, that's what's up, man." And then, that lab was the beginning of a lot of things, apparently.
It was.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So continue.
Yeah, so we raised the money. We purchased it from Ron and Nuri. They
Okay.
you know they were no longer involved and didn't want to do the business anymore for their own reasons. And at that point we took it over, and it was just like a dream come true, man. I was like,
Nice.
holy shit! Like, you're telling me I got a license to legally extract butane hash oil in a fucking fireproof booth.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that was it for me. I was like, I made it. Like, fucking thank God. Like, I don't have to, like, leave my house wondering if I'm going to show up, someone's going to burn it down. I don't have to wonder if I'm going to burn it down. Like, this is a safe way to extract, and it should be. This is how it should be done.
Yeah.
For growers, they might have thought differently, but for us extractors, I think we were pretty relieved that things went legal. It was it was risky. I think a lot of us would have ended up in jail. You know, or dead or burned. Yeah. And like, so for manufacturers, we were stoked that we were able to get a legal lab, get it going. And that was June of 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fire.
That was my 10-year journey.
Wow, dude. That's a fucking journey, bro. Wow.
Yeah, it's been a lot. And I've learned from all my mistakes.
It's incredible.
I've had a lot of hard times. I've had a lot of good times. But all in all, if you don't love what you're doing, you're never going to push through those crazy fucked up moments in your life. And like, that's my biggest advice to people is like, dude, find something you love. If you live in America, find something you love and monetize it as quickly as possible.
That's a good one, bro.
It's just like, that's the key to
this country's
to living a fulfilled life here, and being able to, you know, not feel like you're in a dead end job or not feel unhappy. You spend more than half your life working. Yeah. My dad's still working. He's 70. People work. That's what they do. You know, that's the country where we live in. And if you want to, you know, at least try to make some fun out of it, even though my story was hard and tough, I wouldn't change a thing. I loved that I went through all those things, loved that it was a journey. Looking back on it, it's so crazy to think that we're still here. And so, you know, find something you love and go after it, dude. That's it.
That's great advice.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man, you gotta make your own plans or you'll fall into somebody else's plans. Guess what they got planned for you? Not much.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, it's tricky, you know, being a business owner and then, you know, previously being employees to other businesses. Yeah, you have to make a decision. Some people are okay with working for other people, and I got no issue with that.
That's all good, man.
That's great. You got to have great employees. And some people don't want the responsibility and the pressure and the fucking craziness of making payroll and making sure everybody's good, paying insurance, and like,
don't blame them.
It's a lot, So I'm not saying that everybody has to do that. I'm just saying for me, it really worked and kept my head up and like kept it in the game, knowing that I had this passion for oil and cannabis people. Really, it was the people that I was meeting. Yeah, you're like, oh, these people are cool as fuck. Like these people are good people, dude.
Shout out to the community, bro.
Like they really are. You know, there's some bad actors, but for the most part, you're getting like really good folks who care about their families, their friends, want to do right by each other. Yeah. And that's very rare in business. Yeah. Very rare. Very rare. Do you have these two things? It's normally business is about making money. Yeah. And it gets washed out of like community, culture, friendship. And I think what's really unique about the cannabis industry and what we come from is like we all kind of protect each other, watch out for each other, we're loyal to each other, have the same vision. You know, and all that kind of keeps you going throughout the day.
And we all put it all on the line.
That's a huge,
and we all risked it for the biscuit. You know what I'm saying? We have that mutual respect for each other. Like, you know, we all live in this other world, this underworld, you know, for so many years, man. And like, we all got the war stories, and like, we might even know some of the same people and been through a lot of the same shit, bro. And then everything that you said as well. Like,
that is a lot of it. When you do put your life on the line, whether you're realizing it or not at the time, I don't think I realized the risk I was taking, you know, blasting and shit. I was more just focused and going. Mm-hmm. Looking back, like, you're like, holy shit, like, dude, that could have changed my whole entire life. Yeah, you know, like, and yeah, putting that on the line, and others like yourself and other people in the community have done the same thing. It builds up a certain level of respect because you realize that these people believed so much in cannabis being available to everybody on the planet without any restrictions, that they were willing to just keep going, and just not take no for an answer. And that's how we got cannabis legalized. It's like such a great story of people, of what people can actually accomplish if you really believe in it and you're not paying attention to what other people are saying or how they're trying to influence you.
No doubt.
It's like we all were committed, and next thing you know, weed's legal, and it wouldn't be if it weren't for generations before me who did guerrilla grows in Grass Valley and took the real big risk for all of us. Those
Fed
first
timers.
guys, those guys really saw
Football
some jail
numbers,
and
bro.
shit. I remember one of the old guys in my town, he used to tell me, he's like, bro, we used to think about robbing banks, but they're giving you less time for growing weed than robbing banks, so we're just going to grow weed now.
Yeah. Yeah, real outlaws, bro.
Real outlaws,
feel me?
Like, those are different people than what we see in the industry today, but, like, that's what it took in the beginning, is, like, these group of committed individuals say, fuck it, and then now it's, you know, progressed over the years into what it is today, but it's a beautiful thing, and I'm super stoked to be a part of it.
Yeah, same, man. Now, look, these spoiled little brats, respectfully, I'm just breaking balls to some old head. But, man, we got, you know, just fucking trapping them with their thumbs, bro.
All day.
DMs,
and
apps
dude,
and shit, trap apps and shit, you feel me?
there's a whole fucking
It's not their
scam
fault.
culture, too, out there,
Scam culture,
dude.
too, dog. That's a whole other part
What
of the
happened?
game.
What is up with people, like, being proud of being scammers?
Scammers.
Dude? That's a whole
Like,
hustle.
rappers are talking about it, like...
They're stoked on it. They're, like, flexing.
It's a hustle.
Yeah.
It's a hustle. It's not a legit hustle.
Yeah.
It's a shady-ass, grimy hustle.
To me, it's so much shadier than even, like,
nevertheless,
selling crack. Like, fucking...
It is, bro.
At least you're doing
Should
something.
At least we all know what we signed up for.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jesus. That's fucking wild, bro.
Yeah,
So that is one hell of a story, my friend. So where you are right now, you know, how do you feel about the state of the game right now, bro?
For me, I can speak to the BHO, you know, like for the state of BHO, it's taken some wild turns, and I think everybody's aware of this. But, you know, when 2018 happened and all these new extractors come in, they wiped out a really healthy BHO market, like overnight. I mean, the extractors that I came up with, like Dabalicious, fucking Stuck Up Extracts, who else was in Gold Coast Extracts, Rump Wax was one of the first ones, Moxie's still around, but like most of these guys are gone.
Yeah.
They're not extracting anymore, at least in a recreational market.
No
They're
doubt.
might be doing their thing, but products disappeared off the shelves of good BHO, and in came the rosin wave. And like, so you had these really unique innovations in the rosin category where they had learned how to come up with equipment to, you know, standardize and scale rosin, which was the biggest issue, and why rosin wasn't probably readily available. Is the labor is very intense, drying process. It's a sensitive, you know, thing, and it's a lot of touch points, and so it's hard to really scale that up. But once this new equipment came in, and then the BHO guys get pushed out, there's a huge rosin wave.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what everybody's dabbing now. Overnight, people gave up on BHO because all the BHO was CRC'd.
Yeah,
all these new extractors, it's so weird. It's
gross,
It's
bro.
so weird that they did this, but all the new extractors, like, they just started CRCing. And I really don't understand it to this day. I've given it a shot. I've tried it in my lab. I've tried to make it work and see the good in it and be like, is there something there? And every time I dab it, I'm not getting a true representation of that strain.
Dude,
there
you're
is
getting that
some
chemical
shit
background
mixed in there. I don't care if the color's good. I don't care if the consistency's
color,
fire.
bro.
Fuck all that. I need to have flavor and potency and smoothness, you know, in my dab. And so, you know, we
smell it.
Yeah, the state of the BHO industry is tough. What we do now is we take all of our best BHO and put it in our cartridges.
Hell yeah.
Like, you know, we still offer BHO dabs, but it's such a dying breed of people that do live resin dabs.
It is.
Our shatter, on the other hand, sells like fucking crazy still, which is
Shatter?
I'm selling
What the fuck?
20, 30,000 grams a month, dude.
Whoa.
Packaged all day.
How many stores you in, bro?
About 150 right now.
Nice. Dude.
Yeah.
You have your own distro, or you use
We use Nabis right now.
Oh, Nabis,
Yeah,
got it,
so
got it.
we've gone back and forth in distros, but for right now, Nabis
who
has been
has it?
great. Yeah, and you know they're doing good for us. So we're with Nabis, but yeah, like it's funny watching, you know, people just dab $10, $15 grams of shatter like it's going out of style.
Yeah.
But yet the live resin isn't being dabbed, and it's because
Why is that, you think?
it's a price point thing.
Price point, yeah.
They're
'cause the price
running
point's
in
lower.
Yeah, their shatter's low enough to where they're like, dude, I can buy fucking 10 grams for $150.
Yeah,
Smoke all week, gram a day, easy, and be good, which I love. That's why we provide it. Like we want people to, like I said, I didn't come from money, didn't have money. Like money on weed, you spend a lot of money on weed if you're a consumer. So like,
especially if you're ahead too.
especially if you're ahead. So you got to like, you know, we want to provide somebody that can have a daily smoker that you don't have to make a couple $100 grand a year. Yeah.
No doubt. I was gonna ask you, are you guys doing rosin at all? I was curious.
No, not right now.
Any plans to do it? Or
Yeah,
no?
I've got plans to do it, and I've played around with it a few times. I love all hash. I should say
I'm
that.
sure.
Like,
I'm sure.
dude, good rosin or good resin, it don't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, if the plant and the extractor did their job,
Exactly.
it's gonna taste fire, you know, and it's gonna do what you need it to do. So, we do have plans, but we've got a lot going on between our vape line, our fast acting nano serum. We've got grows now.
Saw that. Congrats,
Yeah, we've got
dude.
cultivation. Thank you. And so rosin's taken a back seat. It's also, if you look at rosin and BHO dabbable sales, it is a shrinking category when you look at like headset data and shit like that.
Is that right?
Yeah. So like
Your distro has good data.
yeah, the majority of the market is weed. That's what's still being sold.
Yeah.
It's all flower. And then you have vapes really being kind of that next
one
major market that you can scale. So we've decided to focus on vapes, really. That's what we're doing. Yeah, we believe that we have something special in that category. When we get to the end of the show, I'm going to run you through all these cartridges. And I'm going to show you that you can make a cured trim run cart taste almost as good, if not better, than a live resin cart.
Nice.
Which to a consumer is extremely valuable.
Oh, yeah, because the price point, bro.
Yeah, so now we can get you a cartridge that normally would cost $45 at like $25.
Yeah, that's not CRC.
It's not CRC'd.
Yeah.
That's ran from the best growers in Cali and our own farms. And we'll check all the boxes for you.
Yeah.
So that's what we're focused on. Yeah, that's it.
I'm sure there's a rigorous storage process for that to happen.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
timeline, storage, you know, what happens to the trim as soon as it's trimmed, you know what I mean? Shit like that.
Yeah.
There's got to be. Because I just saw the car. That motherfucker's yellow, light, looking live as fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's only one other company, I think,
no chlorophyll,
that even takes the time to get trimmed like we do, and they do a great job of
Yeah,
it,
I
and
know
that's
them.
Cold Fire.
Oh, Cold Fire, yeah.
Cold Fire
Sure.
Extra. They do great work.
Sure.
Like, I tried his pens
Yeah,
probably
bro.
3 years ago, and like, if it weren't for companies like Cold Fire, we wouldn't have any inspiration to go do these things. Like
Oh,
I
no
said, like
shit,
the
yeah.
community that we had from 2012 to 2017 was very like pushing each other to make better live resin, make better cartridges. And then that kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
And so when I got back on the scene, I bought one of his carts and I was like, dude, this is how a fucking cart should be.
Yeah.
Finally somebody did it.
Yeah.
And that inspired me. I was like, dude, sick. You're telling me people are buying this? Yeah? All right, let's make it. Like, we know how to do that. And
No
it was
doubt.
so cool to see that company, they're crushing it.
Yeah,
And
hell
like
yeah.
see them come up and develop this category, which for our, you know, larger category and genre of BHO is really good.
Nice.
It's showcasing strains, how they should be showcased, extracted the right way. And when you do use butane correctly, I am going to say that I do love butane way more than water. Like, just seeing what an extraction, what you can achieve with butane is wild. When you get a terp layer that's 4 inches thick,
Jesus.
those rosin guys, their shit juices a little bit. They get excited. Yeah. You see the terp layer? It's fucking, you know, it's like a thin sheet of glass over the top. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't have terps, but it's like, it's so different, the terps that you're extracting with butane. You're getting these really liquid, watery, pure flavored terpenes that go perfect in a vape cart. Because they're already liquid and water like that, you don't have to fuck with them and heat them up too much to decarb them and like do all this fancy shit that ruins the taste of an oil. Yeah, so I weigh on that side of like that debate, but I think a lot of people would if they've come to a BHO lab. Yeah, if they've seen it.
I gotta be honest with you. You know, the decarb process and, you know, we'll call it just cooking. We're not gonna give no tech or temps, you know what I'm saying? But you do have to cook it to turn it liquid, right? And I've honestly done side by sides with the liquid live rosin versus liquid live resin, and man, it's not too much of a difference at all.
No, it's not at all.
And I feel like I get higher sometimes off BHO. Am I bugging?
No, and
why is
my
that?
theory on that? I have a theory.
Sometimes, I don't know.
I have a theory on this. If
Don't
you
shoot
smoke
rosin boys.
BHO forever, like I have, and then you take a rosin dab, you're gonna get lit off that rosin.
Okay.
If you smoke rosin and flour all day, and you don't smoke a ton of BHO, then when you hit that BHO, it's gonna. And that's
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why.
That's probably what it is.
probably why.
It's just you build up a tolerance to a certain kind of extract.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's why, bro, like, I like smoking other people's shit and not just my own. I think everybody does if you're in the industry. It's like you want to try what your homies got because like it'll get you that high again. Like you smoking your shit all day.
Bro.
What do you got, dude? You got some good
Always,
shit? Yeah.
man.
And that's fun to do with people, you know?
Yeah. Hell yeah. What kind of advice would you give somebody in your lane in the space right now, bro? Like an extractor on to come up or establish still.
Hang on to
struggling?
as much equity in your company as you possibly can.
Yeah.
When you're raising capital, you will dilute yourself, but 100% or like 50% of a watermelon is better than 100% of a grape.
Yeah.
So keep perspective. Like, you're going to have to give up pieces of your company. You're going to have to raise money if you want to do recreational, unless you have a rich family. I mean, I can tell you that we're on the very low end of fundraising. We've raised about $6.5 million so far, and that's nothing compared to what.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of fucking money.
It is a lot of fucking
It's
money.
like, I started this with nothing, with $500, built up this business, and then now you're telling me we need that type of funding to pay taxes, employees, insurance, regulations, testing, distribution fees. The list gets deep.
Oh, yeah.
So you need this, like, come in correct if you're going to enter the rec market. Don't just, like, you know, half-ass it unless you've got your hustle down. Some people know how to do that shit, and that is what it is. But, like, if you want to do an extract brand specifically, you know, don't white label your shit, first of all. That's huge. I mean, like, if you want to be a real extractor, make your own product and release it into the market with your name on it.
That's right.
You know, we do that. We also do white label for other brands. So it's like, it is what it is. But I think that would be it. Just get your shit together, have capital, hang on to as much equity as you can. Don't get like God on some bad money. You know, we have really good investors and a really good support team, and that's due to my CEO, Paul. I'm the president and the founder. Paul, my partner, is the CEO. He handles all the financial shit. I handle all the weed shit. So, like, find your guy.
Find your guy.
Find your guy. Yeah, those are a few
What
of
would
the
be
things.
advice for finding that guy?
It's going to be who you hang out with. Yeah.
Circles.
Circles. It's interesting, you know, like, even if they're like your best friends, if you only hang out with your best friends all the time and you don't meet anybody else in life, then that's who you're going to know. And there's nothing wrong with that. But like, if you do want to meet new people in life, then you have to have new experiences, and you have to be open to the idea of meeting with people that maybe don't see the world like you do. You know, and that's okay. But like, you need a good business partner who understands your vision and understands what you want to execute. But they don't have to be a trap star and like be in our community.
No doubt.
They really don't. It's like, this is a business. Just find a good guy who knows finances, who knows capital. Get that on your team, because you're gonna want it. Yeah.
I like that. That is good advice, bro. So where's it go from here, man? What's the next 5-10 look like for you, big dog?
The next 5-10, you know, I think the biggest thing for us right now is just maintaining California. I mean, really, like, we're not where we want to be quite yet. You know, we see ourselves as being one of the top vape providers in the state, but we're way down on that list right now. So, like, for the next couple years, that's what we're going to be pushing to, is just hoping to make a big impact and get a share of that, you know, $500 million vape market that's in the market every year.
Is that what's in California? It's 500 million?
Oh, if not more. I mean,
damn.
I think like Stizzy alone does like a couple $100 million in cart sales a year.
Bro.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
That's wild.
If you're taking retail numbers.
Yeah.
So
you have access to that data. So.
Yeah, and that's don't quote me on it, but it's
if we're
around
off by
there.
a couple mil, I think we're good. You painted the picture.
Yeah, that vape market is huge,
damn,
and it's
bro.
filled with a lot of distillate and a lot of artificial terps.
Yeah.
And so we want to make an impact over the next 5 years of turning people onto the idea that you don't need to smoke distillate with artificial terps. You can get a live resin or cured resin cart, strain specific, that's, you know, manufactured with love.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Absolutely.
It's like, we care about every product that goes out. I try every one of them, and like, I want you to have a good experience.
Yeah.
That's mainly it.
I dig that.
Like, when I'm sharing weed or giving away weed to people, it's because like, I want you to get in your car and be like, giddy. Like, I'm holding this one to the side.
Yeah,
I'm taking this with me golfing or whatever, you know, like, that experience is what we strive to provide every single day.
Yeah.
And like, it's hard to do, you know, it's like making special products that make an impact on people every time they buy them is a very difficult task. But like, we hope to get better with packaging, marketing, you know, PR stuff like this we're doing now, and just continue our journey. We have signed deals in other states, but I can't talk about those yet.
That's cool.
So we do have some expansion plans to get labs in other states and get our brand out there. But mainly our focus is is on our lab and our cultivation, expanding cultivation in Grass Valley. And that's about it. Yeah.
Nice, bro. Fuck yeah. That's exciting, man.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's exciting, man. I'm excited to watch the journey, bro.
Thank you.
Absolutely, man. So, let's hop into some questions, man. I got some questions that people want to know. We'll have some fun with it. So my first question for you, my friend, is what do you know that they should know? What do you call bullshit on in the cannabis industry? Can you debunk any
Say the
cannabis
first part
myths?
again?
What do you know that they should know? What do you call bullshit on? Can you debunk any myths?
I mean,
anything from your space?
Yeah, I think I've already touched on it, but the biggest myth I think is just that BHO is bad. You know, that right now is kind of a thing.
It is.
BHO is
It
bad.
is, bro.
That's in the community. That's in dabbers. That's like people. You bring BHO to a sesh, they're like, oh, dude.
Yeah, they're
This
clowning,
dude's
bro.
smoking fucking resin over here.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
and that's a myth. Like it really is. You come to our lab, you're not going to see that. You're going to be blown the fuck away by the terpene profiles we're pulling. You're going to see the oil and know it's fire. You're going to dab it or smoke it in a vape and be like, dude, this is special, right? And like I think that got lost, you know, for all the reasons I highlighted. CRC, new extractors.
CRC fucked it
Yeah,
up, bro.
our mission is just to stay true to what we know to be correct. You know, when we see the stuff in the lab, we know it's special. When we dab it or smoke it, we know, you know, there's something to it. So it's about really communicating that message to our consumers and to people that fuck with us that, you know, all of our BHO now is our best ones are in our vape carts, and that's the experience we want you to have.
Nice.
Yeah, you know, dabs are cool. I still dab. We're going to hit the index here in a little bit.
Wait till y'all see this shit. This is some old James Bond shit
Yeah,
about to pull out.
and you'll
on y'all,
see.
man.
I'll give you some cheetah piss dabs of BHO, and you're going to be like, dude, there's no difference between this and an $80 gram of rosin.
This fool about to light me up on my way out.
Yeah,
See, shout out to Ashok. I no longer dab on the podcast. Well,
Yeah, he told
I
me
am.
about that, dude.
I'm gonna dab at the tail end of this motherfucker to make it out of here alive, man. But goddamn, he knows.
He dabs too, yeah. When he comes through the lab. He's always got the fire. He fucks with good growers. That's a guy. That's like a perfect example of somebody who's passionate about, you know, what they're doing and trying to bring a product to market that gives a consumer an experience. Like the more people we have like that, the better. That's what we need.
Bro, I literally saw a bro's story yesterday, and they're fucking bringing freezers up to the ridge, and there's a fucking fire.
Oh, dude.
And they managed to swoop around the backside of the fire to get
that
home
fire
safe,
was
bro.
right in between one of our grows.
Dog,
I woke up with a
I didn't know there was a
text.
fire up there, bro.
Yeah, I woke up with a text at 11 o'clock from one of my good friends in town. He's like, bro, there's a fire on the hill right now, and it's between your spots. And I was like, oh, god damn it. So last night was a little stressful, but
Dog,
they contained
they contain it.
Yeah, they contained it. We were lucky. And that is something you deal with in that town in most Northern California areas.
Yeah, well, shout out to the firefighters.
Fuck,
in
man.
California,
Thank
man.
God for those
You guys
people.
are real G's and real heroes, man. For real, for real.
No, 100%. I mean, with firefighters work so hard and train, and then
Yeah,
they're out
bro.
there in the shit. I mean, to do something like that to keep us all safe
It's like a
is
thankless job,
yeah,
man.
it's a thankless job. So
But we thank you. At
yeah,
Good Pizza,
weed
at
people.
Paper Planes.
The weed people love you guys.
We love y'all,
Let me
man,
tell
for
you, you're
real.
saving weed for everybody out there in the hills.
bro.
So yeah, it's nice.
Even
to
if it's
see.
a little smoky when it hits the market, we happy with it. We still gonna sell that shit. You feel me? Couple points off for the fire packs.
It's happened.
You got any weird skills or life hacks you care to share with us? I'm a cheat code guy.
Weird
if you don't,
skills.
it's cool, but if you do,
Weird skills
spill
and
it.
life hacks. It's just stuff I've mentioned. I just truly believe that, you know, if you want to live a fulfilling life, find something you love and monetize it. That's the simple way to put it. You know,
Yeah, no,
there's a
that's
lot
great,
that goes
bro.
into that, but you know, if you're passionate about what you're passionate about and it shows through, it's like your light. You know, that's your light, and use it. Don't turn that off. Like whatever you feel, and you can do whatever you want. People forget that shit.
Yeah, bro.
You want to be a comedian, an actor, singer, whatever you want to do, go do it. We wanted to be weed people, you know, that's just how we found ourselves. But like when you find that moment of like you have an opportunity and it aligns with what your vision is, take it.
Yeah.
Don't be scared, jump after it, go all in, see it to the end. The worst you can do, the worst can happen is you'll learn from your experience and you know, you'll get better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sound advice, folks. Love it. How do you like to consume cannabis? Dabs only, or what you got?
Everything.
Everything.
I
He
do
does it all, folks.
I do every bit of it.
Love that.
I mean,
On the daily, what you doing?
yeah, like I wake up.
You're a dabber like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I
bro.
dab like crazy. I mean, I wake up, I take dabs at 6 o'clock in the morning, like 0.3s.
Like a gentleman.
Yeah, like, you know,
3 a.m.
I probably
dabs,
smoke
holla.
about an eighth of oil a day.
So is my cameraman. Sorry, y'all fucking with you.
I was like, he was scared to hit the index. I don't know.
Nah, he ain't fucking around. A choke fucked him up.
And
bro.
then, like, I take carts with me everywhere. I really enjoy them now because, like, dude, even though you have a Puffco and, like, you've got the Proxy,
Yeah.
and I love those devices, and, like, they've changed the industry in dabbing so much
doubt.
for manufacturers like us. We're so appreciative of people like Puffco and the other companies that do that. But it's still a little bit of a hassle.
It is.
On a golf
It is.
course or driving, it's like,
You gotta do your little
you
shuffle.
gotta do your thing. You keep
Yeah.
this in your pocket, you're going to get a dab hit right away.
Yeah.
If you blink it, you're really going to get fucked up.
Yeah.
If you want that head change, that's what you're chasing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like your daily. And then I like to smoke a lot of weed joints because like it breaks through. Because I smoke so many extracts,
Yeah.
the weed is what gets me high. So like I get a way different high from weed. Whereas like I can dab and be social and talk and not really like nervous. I'll do it now. But yeah, but usually like,
Sorry.
no, I'll hit it. I don't give a fuck.
Hit one for the people. I gotta get him now because he's about to get me later.
Yeah, we're about there.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's dope, bro. If you had a weed or extract superpower, what would it be?
Weed or extract superpower.
You snap your fingers
I
and
like
X
this.
happens. Don't go cheap, bro. This is your one wish,
My
dog.
one wish. I would snap my finger after every trim or frozen harvest that it's like instant froze, de-leafed, and packed up into vacuum sealed bags.
I respect that.
And delivered at -60. And the trim is picked up the second that trimmer hits that tray. There's motherfuckers in there just out of here into a bag, and it just transports to my facility. That would make my life
That's fire.
100 times easier.
And I respect that because he's still willing to fucking blast the oil.
I don't want an AI like extractor.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
he's still got to put in the work. He just needs a
being
little
an
prep work out.
extractor
You know what I'm
is
saying?
very much like being a chef. You don't want to
Yeah,
take that way.
no doubt.
There's an art to it and there's a feel to it so much that it's extremely hard to even train extractors.
Yeah.
It'd be like training a head chef. You can't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
train
no,
a
you
head
can't.
chef.
Yeah.
They have to go about their own experiences and learn, and then one day they arrive. Yeah, they might have mentors and people that give them advice, but as far as just like walking into a business and training an extractor or having a robot do an extraction, you know, which is coming for sure. That's going to happen to closed loops in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
They're going to be
shit.
full. Yeah, there's already a couple of systems coming on the market. They'll be fully automated. But what they don't understand is it's like cooking a steak. Like you need a guy there to determine when that exact second is when it's ready.
Or for the flip.
Yeah, or
You
for
know?
the flip, like
Yeah.
all that shit. It's the same with extracts. When you're looking at oil go through a closed loop machine, or even when you're open blasting, it's a full immersive experience. You're listening, smelling, seeing what's occurring, and then you're making live adjustments to make sure that that extract comes out perfect. And that's like, it's hard to do
That's the human
consistent,
touch.
just like it is with food. That's why I compare it to food so much.
Yeah.
It takes a real G, and we've got great extractors at our lab. Like, you know, they do everything so well. They're very experienced. They understand our tech. They come up with their own tech. Like we couldn't ask for a better team in our extraction lab, but we were lucky to find them. We went through tons of, people who blow you up,
Yeah.
who've been in a lab a couple times and they think they know how to blast BHO. And then they're in there running like warm gas, right? Which is like, our gas is like -80. They're running at like -20, which still sounds cold, but that is warm as hell. And then like their pressures are going up to like 200 PSI or, you know, it's like all these little crazy things that can affect an extract and affect your safety.
Yeah.
That I think that's why you don't have too many of us in this manufacturing
No doubt.
category that are doing it the right way. It's extremely difficult to do. And there's only so many of us who have 10 years of experience doing it.
Yeah.
There's not many left, dude.
Yeah.
So, you know, I love that we're in that category. It's always been the category that I thought would grow the most over time.
Yeah.
I do feel that kids these days coming up smoke more extracts than they do flower. And I think it's going to be a while till that flips. But I do believe in like 20 years that vapes and extracts will be more sold than flower.
Yeah.
I feel that. I think we're the last of the flower generation.
Yeah, I think so too.
And you're growing
Our
up with
generation,
kids
word.
with Nick Pens and
Yeah, bro.
Puffcos.
Word. They're
and,
not even smoking cigarettes, bro.
Not even smoking cigarettes. They're way more health conscious.
Yeah.
And although weed
Shout out
is,
to the youth.
you know, pretty healthy, it's still a lot of plant matter and shit in your lungs every time you smoke a joint. Whereas when you smoke extracts, you're not getting all that, dude.
Yeah.
You're getting THC and terps. You don't get anything left over. And there's some research out there that shows like certain terpenes can like shrink cancer cells and do things like that. So
Yeah.
it's a healthier way to smoke. I
Definitely.
think that it'll go that way in the future, and that's why we made a big bet on, you know, having a large manufacturing
That's
facility.
cool, man.
Yeah.
I believe that because I am noticing like the dab community, them dudes is like good 10 years younger than me, maybe more. A lot of these cats.
How old are you?
I just turned 40.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, bro, like 30, even their 20s and
I'm
shit.
36,
you know what I'm
so
saying?
yeah.
So yeah, bro, I can definitely see that trend, and we probably are the last flower generation. You know what I'm saying? Because we came up on flower.
That's what I mean. When you
know?
come up like that, it really
Yeah.
matters. If
Just
your
what it
first time
is.
getting highs off a bong or you
Word.
rolling joints, that's in your brain, and like you're gonna be used to that experience, and that's what you're chasing, right? Whereas I think people coming up these days are more dabber, vapors, you know,
Yeah.
type of dudes, and that's what we plan to, you know, execute on
That's
is
cool.
giving products to those consumers.
That's
yeah.
cool. Well, now, my friend, it's time for your top 3 strains of all time.
Oh, this one's gonna be good.
We're gonna go one old, one new you fucking with, and
Yeah.
then a desert island you stuck on the island with.
Okay, so the one old comes from my friend's Cassidy's dad, who's passed away. Actually, it's unfortunate in the past couple of years, but he was a big influence on my life. He was the first person who allowed me to have a grow at their house and really get in the
Fire.
game. and he was a cool ass
That's a
dude.
special
He'd
dude,
smoke
bro.
with you. He'd cook food with you. Watch football. Fucking just
What a guy.
never judged you. Like another big thing about stoners in that weed community is there's not a lot of judgment from other people.
Yeah.
Which I think society needs. Like
Yeah.
the judgment of judging others and comparing your life to them and all that shit. It was nice. He provided an environment where we could really be ourselves. And he had a connect, dude, to this dude in Humboldt. I won't mention his name, but he grew some of the best indoor weed to this day that I've ever seen. And he had one of the old school, like, GDP cuts, but a real, like, perp cut.
Yeah.
That was, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
still to this day, I've never seen it. And I would buy, like, $1,600 QPs off Cassidy's dad whenever it
Damn,
arrived.
son.
But he
Ooh.
loved the weed so much that, like, sometimes I could only get an ounce or so. He'd be like, I can't sell you. This is my shit, bro. This is special shit.
Yeah.
And so, like, that was my first time seeing packs that were, like, a grade 10 times above anything I had seen or smoked. I still remember this day being like, if I just had that weed every day, I would never take any other drugs.
right.
I've used all types of substances,
Yeah.
but I remember clearly being like, this weed is so fucking good
Yeah.
that if this is all I had for the rest of my life, I'd be good.
Yeah, we cool,
Yeah, we
baby.
good.
We
This
cool.
is it. That's all I want. So that
Yeah.
would be the old one. And then you said something new and
Yeah, yeah.
something
Desert island. That's all you can
Desert
smoke for
island.
the rest of your life, but it's the best batch.
something new. I don't have any for. I really don't have any new packs that I've seen lately that have even come close to the packs I've seen in the past.
No doubt.
That's just the truth. But my Desert Island strain is probably Jeff, the owner of Nameless Genetics. He grows the Mega Wellness OG. And it's funny,
I've
like,
heard about this mega well.
it used to be a big OG in LA, and it's still, you know, pretty big for people who know about it. But all these growers, right, they have kind of their packs that get provided to people, and then they have like secret packs.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Family and friends.
Family
baby.
and friends packs.
You
In
feel
this
me?
case, I think it was celebrity packs. Like
Okay.
these were only going to
No
people.
doubt. He was in
They're-
LA, right?
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
in
there you
LA,
go.
and he's popped these out a few times to me throughout my life, and every time it happens, I just get so giddy, and it's just like
Yeah.
the craziest, stickiest, lightest green OG smelling bud. And those OGs, dude, they get you that straight, like you fucking, you're high, your heart is
I'm fucked up.
racing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
fucked up.
yeah.
And the flavor lasts all the way through the joint. It would probably be that specific pack that he showed me that day
Wow.
for something that's all I would smoke. I mean, I'm an OG fan. There's some old 707 headbands that would maybe make that list as well,
Okay,
but I
okay.
can't remember like the specific packs. Those two I
No doubt.
remember. Those, yeah, that's
No
what
doubt.
I'd take.
That's fire. If there was a strain that you could bring back, what would it be?
There you go, 707 headband.
There it is.
That's it.
I'd be happy.
That's
with
my
that.
favorite
I'd be very happy
strain,
with that.
probably of all time, next to OG and like some cookies, and then like even Alien Labs back in the day. Their original Do-Si-Do and Wedding Cake are still some
people
of my
still talk about that.
still
to this
some
day,
of my
bro.
favorite weed. We were
Yeah, shout out to
in the
Lab,
first
man.
group of those people, and Ted was, you know, I was lucky enough that Ted blessed us with some, and
Hell
dude,
yeah.
those are still like some of the best weed I've ever smoked. So
Yeah.
it's tough to
Oh,
choose.
hell
But
yeah.
yeah, there's a few good
It's
ones.
tough.
Yeah.
That's a tough question.
Yeah. But I think the headband would be what I'd bring back.
Okay.
Yeah, I really
Okay.
love that
I
strain.
respect
The
it.
Sour D mixed with the OG, it's like the perfect
Yeah.
funk gas
For
that
sure.
I love. Yeah.
For sure. What's your smoking weed, dab, extract, and pet peeve? What grinds your fucking gears?
Extract pet peeve. You know, from BHO guys, I don't think we have any. We're such
Anything cannabis
dirty
related.
dabbers from the beginning.
Anything
of
cannabis
Shatter.
related, bro. Like it could be like smoking with your friend or whatever.
That's a pet peeve.
Yeah, what pisses you off? What can you do?
I don't
with that?
like watching my dad hold in smoke on dabs.
Really?
Yeah,
Your dad?
my dad. Every time
What
we
does he
dab
do?
together,
Oh, he holds them. I'm like, bro, Pop,
and I'm
let
like,
that
let it go,
out.
let it go. He's like, and he's
Just lets it explode.
that's his style though. And every time
He's
I'm like,
old school.
I'm like, bro, just don't do that. Just let
terrible,
it go.
yeah.
And then he's coughing, you know, and
Oh.
like it expands in his lungs.
The grenade explodes. And I bet you when he smokes joints, he hits them like this. And he goes, hits the little side
That's
puff
it, dude.
off the second hand.
Holding it.
That's OG shit.
It's OG shit.
That's
Yeah,
I can't even do that.
You're never gonna switch it.
And you know they're really OG? They go, and they'll do it up the nose too. I'm like, oh, you a
I bring
savage, bro.
so much weed to my dad, like over the years I have, not daily. I don't bring it to him, but over the years I have, and like it's rare that he's ever impressed. And he always tells me, he's like, you know, the only way I know if it's good weed or not is if I take one hit off that motherfucker and I'm just looking at it.
Yeah, you just examining that motherfucker.
He just hit it, and then he's just like, God damn. And that's his judge of if weed's potent or not. And it'll be like once a year I'll bring him something that he's like, that was the one.
That one hits home.
Yeah. I was like, all right, we got him.
That's fire, bro. That's fire. I think I know what I'm gonna give you for Pops. I got one for Pops. Yeah, I got one that got some balls.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Good flavor,
Cole
but
love
it's got
that because
it's
he
got
gets
some
giddy. He always tell me I can't get high
Yeah.
anymore.
Nah.
It's fucking weed that these days
Pops.
sucks.
I got you, Pop.
All right,
I got
He's
you.
gonna love that.
You take care of my Pops. I'm gonna take care of your Pops.
I will.
Yeah, for sure. What's your favorite place to smoke, bro?
Favorite place to smoke? Fly fishing.
Fly fishing.
Yeah,
huh?
fly fish.
You skilled fella.
Fly fishing, golf. Those are my two things. But fly
Damn.
fishing, being out on the river. You know,
That sounds
it's
fun.
Just like it's just the best.
I love fishing and smoking. I'm not a
Yeah.
fly fisherman though.
Oh well,
You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
fly fishing's, you know, not to go too deep into it, but what's unique about it is that, you know, when you spin casts and you put cast masters or Paula's in the water, and you know you've got treble hooks and shit. Like when you hook a fish, you hook that motherfucker, and like you reel that thing in.
Yeah.
When you hook them on a fly line, you're using what's referred to as like a size 20 hook, which is like a fingernail, like
Yeah,
like
no
the
doubt.
tiniest, and you have to smash the barbs down when you fly fish. Most of these rivers are protected, so you
Oh,
have to
no shit.
smash the barb down because you can't kill the fish.
didn't
So
know that.
the intricacy of hooking a fish on a fly that is so fucking tiny that you're
Yeah.
sending through a huge river of current, and you've rubbed that little fly by that fish's face, and then you hook them, and then you ever so delicately get them in. You land them. Like landing a fish on a fly rod can take 20 minutes sometimes.
Oh, shit.
25 minutes, because you got to play the fish, or he's going to throw that hook. He's going to break you off. You're on really thin leader. There was like an extra level of challenge to
Yeah.
fly fishing that really got me. Like I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is fucking
You like a
sick.
challenge. You're a golfer. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying?
golfing's challenge. Golf is great.
It's kind of like bow hunting versus shotgun hunting,
There
right?
you go.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it,
You
for
know?
sure. Yeah. You got to be a little bit more, sensitive with it.
Yeah. What's the first smoking device you ever had to MacGyver as a shorty?
These are great questions.
Thanks.
I think the best one was, back to my dad. He still has it to this day in his
Let's
fly. My dad's a
go.
fly fisherman, and in his
Okay.
fly tying desk is where all his weed is kept, and weed, paraphernalia. And he's got, I don't know how to describe it other than a dad pipe, but it's essentially like some metal, like copper that has threads. And instead of, whatever plumbing or fucking piece of equipment this is supposed to be, it's a bowl on the end
Yeah,
that
yeah.
threads on, and it's got a carb
still
on the
rocking
side.
that bad boy?
Still has it.
Oh,
My
that's
dad also
legend.
never loses anything. Like me, I won't have anything for more than a week.
Yeah.
He's got shit that's been sitting in his desk for
Yeah.
36 fucking years, dude.
Fuck, bro, your whole existence.
Yeah. I'm like, it's
Damn,
fucking
bro.
crazy. And I'll go home and I'll still hit that pipe sometimes when I visit my parents. It'll be in his little bathroom outside, and I'll fucking go in there and open the drawer there to take a fat
That's
rip.
funny
and
as
then,
fuck,
that was
bro.
probably the best one.
That's funny. If one strain described you, what would it be and why?
It's got to be OG Kush, I think, just because I am a little crazy, and when you get high like on OG, you get a little.
Yeah.
It's like one of the weeds that just ups my heart rate and shit like no other. Like I be getting real like fucking lit off those OGs, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that relates too much to who I am. But
No.
Yeah,
Bro,
just
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Sometimes people crap out on that one. You went right in. I like it. So I don't know I think we breezed past this. Tell me about your first time smoking weed, and was your parents cool with it?
Oh yeah, I got a great story for that. My really good friend I grew up with, Nick Russell, he was a stoner, and he played on the basketball team with me, so I trusted him. We hung out. His older brother was a stoner as well, so they kind of got me into it. One day, he took me out to my boy Arthur DeLuca's house, and this was kind of going towards the ridge out a windy fucking road.
Yeah.
And I had smoking weed like 2 weeks earlier in a Jack in the Box parking lot. Didn't really get high. Had that experience.
Yeah,
a lot of people
doubt.
have. I was
Yeah.
like, this is weird. I feel a little off, but I wasn't stoned. And so this was a week later. We go out to Arthur's house, and dude, we hit a fat bong, and I'm like, you're floating. At that point, it's just like such an intense high. For me, it was. I was like, dude, this is fucking crazy. Like, this is what you guys do? And like these kids are going to class like that at this time. I'm like, you go to fucking class like this?
Fucking
like,
savages.
yeah, you guys are insane, dude. And they're just laughing. We're laughing, having a good time. And Nick's like, all right, we got to go get some food now. I'm like, all right, what's up? I'm like, you can drive, bro? And he's like, I can drive. And I was like, all right. He had a little Acura like TL fucking pimped out back in the day.
Bro. Hell yeah.
And everything was, he'd drive the shit out of it. So Nick likes to fuck with people. This is my good buddy. This is something he loves to do, is just fuck with people. So like as soon as we get in the car, bro, he is gassing it, like hitting gears, going like 80 or 90 or 100 miles an hour down these windy roads, and I'm fucking
Yeah. We all have that
first
friend.
time getting high, I'm just tripping. And we go get food, and then we mellow out back at Arthur's house. But that was the first time smoking. Yeah, he scared the shit out of me.
You know what? I just had this realization when you were telling that story. I want to say 8 out of 10 times I hear this story, there's a big brother involved. Of a homie.
Bro, that's how you
Or
get
your own
involved
big
with
brother.
almost everything.
You know what I'm saying?
Some big brother.
Shout out to big bros, but I
Yeah.
never had one. I had like figurative big bros. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it was to me too. It was
I
my
had no
homie's
big
big
brother.
brother.
I was a big brother.
And he had a group of his friends that, you all look up to at
Yeah.
that time. You're like, dude, these
Yeah.
fools are gangsters. Like,
Yeah.
these are
Of
different
course,
people.
Of course.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know what, man? Can't ask this question for everybody, but I certainly feel like I can ask this to you. Do you have a crazy grow or extract story where shit just went fucking down?
Yeah.
You had to get the fuck out of Dodge.
I got two of them.
Hit me.
One of them's funny. The other one's a little bit more serious. But
Okay.
the first funny one is me and my old partner. He used to come out to the garage and watch me blast, and I used to blast with spliffs hanging out of my mouth.
Ooh, lit spliffs?
Lit spliffs.
Oh,
I was
sad.
stupid. But like when people trained me, they smoked cigarettes, and so I was like, nah, it's probably fine, And like I was a serious stoner. I needed to be high all day while I'm extracting. So I would smoke spliffs while I open blasted. Not advised. Dumb
No
thing to
way.
fucking do. Even though I'd walk away and light them, I would come back over and sit. And he'd come out to the garage almost daily and be like, yo, dude, you can't fucking do that. I know that you like to get high and like that's cool, but like you can't do that. And so instantly I'm kind of like, feeling like, fuck this dude. Like, this is bullshit. I'm out here. I'm the one blasting all the time. Like, fucking, if I want to smoke, I'll smoke.
Right.
So I kind of go back at him like, dude, nothing's going to happen, bro. Like, you know how much fucking butane you need on an outdoor area for this fucking ember to like light this shit? And I'm like, watch this. So I pull out my lighter and I go to like this is funny. I go to like a full pile of trim that we had just blasted that I just emptied out of my tubes that's still soaked in butane.
Oh, boy.
And I'm standing by it about a foot away and I'm like, see, motherfucker? Like, you think this shit's going to light? It's not going to light. And then I go closer and closer, and I was getting obviously cocky and stupid at this point. And within, like, once I get to, like, 2 inches, that motherfucker burned off all my knuckle, hand hairs, eyebrows, fucking
Oh,
shit,
damn, bro.
And he's going, I fucking told you.
Damn.
And we're sitting there watching this pile of weed like burn, and we're putting water. The water ain't touching it. We didn't have a fire extinguisher.
Ooh.
So that really like made me realize, I was like, oh shit, like if anything goes down, this is gonna be real hard to put out, or like it fucked me
This
up.
could spread. And
So
burn
that
out
was
half
my
California.
dumb, stupid story of being
Yeah.
a dumb open blaster. Used to think it was safe to do anything, because once you get used to something and you've done it for years, you believe that it's okay.
Yeah,
And that's how people get in accidents. Is, you know, you're just
Definitely,
not paying
bro.
attention. But the next one I have is I have had an extractor actually blow up a closed loop before.
Damn,
Not
bro.
fire, but the pressure built so much on our pot, and he, you know, wasn't paying attention, that it got up to like 300 psi and popped. And he was sitting, I wasn't there, but my friend told me about it. He was sitting like this, basically over top the closed loop like this, and the thing just exploded, barely missed him, and then stuck into the fucking wall. The whole closed loop.
Shit,
That's how
bro.
much pressure of like a, I don't know, 400 pound
Took his
closed
head
loop.
off.
It could have killed him.
Yeah.
It could have killed him. It scared the shit out of me. It made me rethink a lot of things. This was at the end of 2018 when things were just going to be legal.
Yeah.
And that was my last, like, dude, I'm not trapping anymore. I'm not fucking blasting in no unsafe spaces. I don't know what I would have done. That's a dead body and a homie too. Fuck it. That's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
It's like that can ruin your life, you know, and we're so lucky that nothing happened.
And you were there, witnessed it.
I wasn't there. My good
you
friend,
just told me that.
My
Sorry.
good friend Clint was, though. Yeah, I didn't witness it. He calls me. This is the funny part of the story. He calls me and he goes, "Our closed loop just exploded," and I was like, "Well, like you're burning right now? Like, is like, what do you mean, dude?" He's like, "No, it shot up in the wall, like, and like it was fucking loud." And I was like, "All right, everybody, get the fuck out of there. Leave it in the wall." Just exit the premises, and we're shut down, you know. And that was one of, like, towards the end of us running like that, and we're very lucky. What can I say?
Yeah,
we're
good
lucky,
for you for
dude.
making that call, bro.
Yeah, it was.
For real.
After that, we had to let him go too, and he didn't extract for us anymore. It was sad because he was a good buddy who I trained and like I felt responsible for, but I didn't want him running anymore. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, but like this is my responsibility. If you fucking hurt yourself, it's on me. It's not on you, you know. Like,
Yeah.
and so those things with extraction, man, they're tough fucking things. Yeah,
bro.
it's not like growing. In growing, you're not ever worried about anybody getting hurt. Rattlesnakes in the grow, okay, but I've never had a friend get bit by one, and then like usually it's safe, you know. So it was, there was an added element of risk that
Big time.
that I think, you know, a little bit of me when I was younger enjoyed that adrenaline, and now that I'm older, I don't enjoy
Yeah,
that.
you don't need that type of adrenaline no more, bro, or stress. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Hell
for sure.
yeah. I'm going to switch gears on you real quick. If you could smoke with one person dead, one alive, who would they be?
JFK and Tiger Woods.
JFK, Tiger
That's
Woods.
it, yeah.
Nice.
I'd love to sit with JFK because he feels like
Oh,
he
he'd
seems
give you
like
all the
one of the
dirt, bro.
only people in our culture that actually wanted to bring the human race together in a positive way and end wars and try to bring peace. At least he spoke of it. For America, we haven't had guys like that.
No.
And it would be so fucking cool. Also to sit down and be like, so what happened, you know?
So what happened?
You know, and then Tiger, I don't. Have you seen the Tiger Woods documentary on HBO?
I have not. Should I?
Definitely watch it.
Okay.
I feel like he's one of the just most interesting athletes to ever live, and I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan. And like, but if who I would smoke with, I would love to talk to Tiger about his upbringing, about his dad, about just like what it's like being, you know, Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
that's
a
cool.
wild figure, dude.
That's cool. First time Tiger came up, that's cool. Maybe JFK too. Solid picks.
All right.
Solid picks. So, if your brand was a band, who would it be? You could pick multiple bands. Or rappers or
We'd probably be like, at this point, we'd probably be like Too Short. We've released like 20 albums. Fucking still in the game, still hustling, trying to make it, you know? And I
20
hope that we
albums,
get to that
still
Jay-Z level soon.
No doubt. No doubt. I dig that answer. Fuck yeah. So who's your favorite plug from back in the day, bro? Shout out your favorite plug.
My favorite
You know,
plug.
somebody took care of you, bro. Who took care of Carter?
Still the same friend that I know today. He's running a closed loop right now in his garage. Without him,
What a G.
I wouldn't be anywhere. Him and I met in college, and
Hell yeah.
both him and I had the vision to start hustling, and like, just I wouldn't be anywhere without that dude. You know
Hell
who you
yeah.
are.
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
So, shout out a mentor that had a huge impact on your life. Who would that be?
The first guy I mentioned that owned that group of dispensaries in Sacramento, he was a big mentor to me, and now currently my CEO Paul is a good mentor to me.
Nice, bro.
I like talking to people, like I said, that have other experiences than I do, and that I can learn from and gain some value and insight as to how to be a better man and run a better business. Right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're looking to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, especially at this age. Shit.
Yeah.
What's the best and worst advice somebody ever gave you? No particular order.
One of the best pieces of advice my dad gave me was everything's okay in moderation. And I know people hear that a lot, but it really stuck with me. You know, like we all party, a lot of this community parties and drinks and does drugs and fucking coming up in that world. Sometimes you get a little spun out, you know?
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
definitely guilty of that, and having that thought in my mind, like, look, it's okay to party. It's okay to, you know, use substances and like, you know, be free, and it's your body, do what you want. But, you know, you got to do everything in moderation. You can't go all in on, you know, certain things, even business. It's like, then you let go of family and friends, and like, it's just try to have some balance and moderation in all things that you do.
That's a fucking art.
That's probably best advice, or I don't know about worst advice. Anybody giving me bad
It could be
advice?
simple, like, hey, bro, don't do that. It's too risky. You know what I mean? Some simple
When I was starting my business, I think everybody.
Usually what we hear.
Yeah, I think that's a common answer. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't. But nobody really gave me bad advice. I think I've had to learn from a lot of my own mistakes. Really,
Yeah.
you know, like I've been my own worst enemy at times, and like learning from those type of things is definitely helped me.
That's good, bro.
Yeah.
If you could jump back in time and talk to young Carter before he hopped in the game, the day before you hopped in the game, what would you tell you?
Save your money. That's probably number one.
Yeah.
Don't think that cash is just for clothes and cars and cool shit, because it can do other things. When you're young and you make a little bit of cash and maybe you're not too versed on how the financial or business world works when that comes to forming LLCs or, you know, taxes or all these things, there are ways that you can really make that cash work for you. And I was not doing what I should have been doing with it at the time. I mean, that was an early lesson I learned with the first little bit of money I made, and quickly learned that. I had another, what was the question one more time? I had another answer to it.
If you could jump back to the young you before the day before you jumped in the game,
I'd
what
tell
would
him
you
that. That'd be number one. And I think the other thing would just be, you know, slow down a little bit. That's all. Stop
down,
fucking
baby.
partying so hard. I partied hard, dude. I went hard.
Me too.
Yeah, I went hard in my 20s, dude.
Oh, me too,
You
bro.
know, and as soon as I
Oh,
got
my
to
30s
30,
too, bro.
early 30s, but I'd say the past 3 years I've been pretty damn sober-minded and clean, as I would like to say, and it's been great.
Back
And so
half
like I would
your
tell
30s
my
is a good idea.
I would tell myself to, you know, slow the fuck down, dude.
Take it easy.
Yeah, take it easy.
Take
That'd
it
be the two
easy.
things.
That's good, bro. Sound advice. So now we're going to hop into some rapid fire questions.
All right.
Before we get up out of here. These will be one word answers. Try to keep them one word. You ready?
All right.
You like smoking the hot or the cold?
Hot.
Joints or blunts?
Joints.
Bongs or bowls?
Bongs.
Cold start or hot start?
Ooh, that's a good one. I cold start right now at all my dabs, but if you have the time, a hot start is pretty nice, so that's a tough one.
Rig or Puffco?
Rig. Yeah.
Street smarts or book smarts?
Street smarts.
Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Haze or sour?
Sour.
Sour or headband?
Headband.
OG or sour?
OG.
Nas or Jay-Z?
Jay-Z.
Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat.
Regular doinks or hash holes?
Hash holes.
Past that or I'm smoking this to the face?
Smoking it to the face.
Favorite Ninja Turtle?
That's a good one.
I know. It's a
I'd
new one.
probably have to go with. It's been so long since I've thought about that.
Just tell me the color. I got you.
Donatello.
Yeah.
He's purple, right?
Donnie's been coming up a couple times.
Is Donnie
last
purple?
couple- Yeah.
It was either purple or orange. Those are my favorite. And-
Michelangelo?
Yeah, Michelangelo,
Yeah,
Donatello.
he's
Yeah.
party man. Usually the party fellas pick him. You know what I'm saying? It's funny to ask that, bro, because when they say that, I'm like, yeah, I can
Yeah,
see
those
that.
are the two.
I can see that about you because they all had. It was like the 4 character types, right? You know
What were
I'm saying?
and then it was red and
Raphael, Leonardo.
Yeah.
Red was Raph, and Leonardo was blue.
that's what it was. What a great show! By
What
the
a
way.
great show, man.
Yeah, like one of the best.
Yeah,
I
facts,
watched
bro.
the movies when they came out too.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I
Come
love
on now.
those guys, dude. Cowabunga, dude.
Fuck yeah, all day, baby, all day. 80s or 90s?
90s.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
NorCal or SoCal?
NorCal for sure.
Pizza or tacos?
Pizza.
Pizza with pineapples or no pineapples?
Only if it has pepperoni.
Pepperoni and pineapples. That is a California combo.
Yeah,
I've been
it's a
seeing
California
that.
thing.
And they be trying to sell
But
me
it,
on
like,
that shit too.
I just went to New York for the first couple times last year, and I've got to say, yeah, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. So if I were to pick
Okay, there
pizza,
you
no
go.
pineapple would be way better if it's New York pizza. But sometimes out here in Cali, you got to cover up the shit with
Well,
the
that's
fucking
that's
pepperonis
really
and
what my
pineapples.
question is. Like when I say pizza, I'm not talking about the shit out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, New York
No
pizza
doubt.
is
All
the
right, cool.
best.
So you revising your answer?
I am.
All
Yeah,
right, cool.
yeah.
All right,
No
you're
pineapple.
doing good, kid.
No pineapple.
Tacos or burritos?
Burritos,
Beach or snow?
beach,
In-N-Out or Five Guys?
in and out all day. That's you can't beat it.
Cheetos or Flamin' Hot Cheetos?
Cheetos, the puffs, not the fucking
Puffs versus crunchy,
Yeah,
huh?
I don't want the
Okay,
crunchy. I want
okay.
the mouthfeel.
I'm a crunchy guy, but I'm definitely Cheetos over Flamin' Hots.
Yeah.
The Wire
Fuck
or The
Flamin'
Sopranos?
Ooh, that's the best one I've heard yet. As
Really?
far as like hardest to decide, because I love both those
Tough
shows.
one.
I've watched them at least 3 times each. Man, that's a good one.
I love that this
Wire
one
or
stumped him.
Sopranos, dude. If I had to pick, I'd probably pick Sopranos, and that's tough to say because I love The Wire, but I think I'd pick Sopranos. Yeah.
All right, you just answered only 3 questions right that mattered.
Okay, good.
Good deal. Pacino or De Niro?
Ooh. De Niro for me.
Godfather 1, 2, or 3?
I'm not versed in those films. I've probably seen them once, but I couldn't tell you shit about them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the truth.
So when you get some time, check them out.
I
Man.
will.
Get back to
I'll
me.
get back to him. Yeah, I watched them when I was younger, but like wasn't really like.
Oh, watch it when you're older and more
Watching it.
mature.
Yeah, I
bro.
think-
You'll appreciate the art.
I'll check it back
saying?
out for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, do some dabs and watch Godfather.
All right.
Yeah.
Done.
Automatic or revolver?
Automatic.
You have to smoke Disty carts or last year's outdoor for 1 month. What you doing?
Last year's outdoor, or Disney cards for a month. I'll go Disney cards. Honestly, I don't want to
Okay.
smoke old flower.
Yeah,
I hate
okay.
old flower.
A lot of people go with old flower, bro.
Fuck old flower.
Straight up, dude.
These Disney, like, fuck it, you know.
All
Gotta
right.
get it done.
Jack or Blue Dream for the rest of your life?
If it's the original Blue Dream, I love that strain. Yeah, I'll take that all day.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not a big Jack fan. I like it, but like, not my shit.
No. You're lost in the woods. You get a pack of matches or a hatchet. What you got?
I'm not a hunter. I'll take the matches, dude. Just try to keep the animals off me, you know? Start
Okay.
big bonfires. That would
Okay.
be my solution. Yeah, and if they come close, maybe I can catch them.
Yeah, there you go. Savage. Okay, so you're getting chased by either a bear or a shark. What would you prefer?
I hate the ocean. I prefer a bear.
Bears? Okay.
Yeah, give me a bear, dude.
Okay.
At
Body
least I'm in
shot?
my element, you know, with the shark. It's
Yeah,
like-
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're not. We're land creatures.
Yeah.
Respect the land. So you're gonna choose between a body shot or a face shot by Mike Tyson. What you going with?
Or a face shot? Is that what you said?
Face shot,
Oh,
body
a
shot.
face shot or a body shot
you
from
got?
Mike Tyson. I don't really want to like piss blood. I think I take it to the face.
Face shot. Okay.
Yeah, I don't. I've heard that if you piss blood, you get hit, and I don't want to deal with that.
No,
yeah,
that's
just
no fun.
take my fucking nose and
Okay.
reset it or something.
Okay. Okay. Shot of 151 or a hot dab, 900 plus.
Oh, I'm taking the hot dab.
Hot dab.
Oh yeah, all day, all day. Fuck one. You said 151.
151.
Yeah, no, I'll take the dab.
All right. Gelato Runts terps or OG Gas terps?
OG gas all day. I love Runts, the real Runts strain. I love the original Gelato 41 and 45 and 25, but I am so sick of watching trim show up in my lab and frozen of those flavors.
Yeah.
It's really depressing.
Yeah.
It brings the variety right out of it. So I think
Right.
that's why you see a resurgence of some of this old strains, and I'm hoping we can continue that as well. Yeah.
Definitely. Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac all day.
Wu-Tang or Death Row?
Well, Wu-Tang. Yeah. Death Row is too shady Tupac, but yeah.
No doubt. Good job, my friend.
All right, thank
nice,
you, dude.
Nice. So we're going to take a little break, and then we're going
Yeah.
to show you this fucking James
Then we're gonna
Bond
get lit.
contraption. We're going to take some dabs
All
out
right,
from my
perfect. Perfect.
What's up, guys? Just want to take a quick second to shout out my sponsors over at Grove Bags. Listen, Grove Bags are hands down the best way to store your cannabis. Forget jars, forget Mylars. Nobody does it like Grove Bags. Listen, it's a 6-layer, non-static bag. State-of-the-art technology. It's gonna keep your weed fresher for longer. It keeps your cannabis between 58 and 62% humidity at all times, the optimal humidity to store cannabis. It's gonna increase your shelf life, help prevent mold, weight reduction. Hands down, it's the best product out there. We don't use anything but Grove Bags at Good Pizza. And especially if your product is in stores, we all know there's some shelf life issues at the stores. This is gonna keep your product lasting longer on those shelves. So when your customer goes to try it, it's gonna be fresh cannabis. Listen, if you wanna store your cannabis the proper way, use Grove Bags. Use promo code PIZZA with 3 Z's. That's PIZZZA. Tell them Good Pizza sent you.
All right.
Welcome back, folks. We have the fucking reflux brought to you by Indux Labs over here.
Yes,
if you're wondering
sir.
what this contraption is, Carter, tell us what the fuck this thing
All
is.
right,
please,
so
sir.
I'm sure some of you have seen this, but for the people who haven't, it's an induction heating device. This one particularly is in a really fucking cool briefcase that you can just close and take with you. It holds a charge for probably like 36 hours. You can dab and dab over and over and with this thing without killing the battery. So it's a little tricky for people who haven't seen anything like it, but it's got this really cool piece here that comes out the center, right? And what you do is you attach one of these vials, all right, which probably can't see, but there's a little pill device like you would put in all your, dabs to spin when you're taking your hit. That is going to be heated by an induction coil that's right in this hole here. So in the center of this, I'm going to twist this onto the bottom, put it in there, and then it's going to go right in that hole, which is a heating coil right around it. This is a timer here, which goes from 0 to, I believe, 120 seconds, and each pill in there has the exact temperature that it'll reach after so much time. So for this one, it's kind of a long heat up. So we'll start it right now. Right now, it's going to start heating. And in the meantime, in the next 2 minutes while that gets ready, I'm going to give you some carts to try.
Oh, sweet.
All right, so
Let's do it.
let me just get this thing set here for you, because sometimes
What voltage do you vape on?
that's something I wanted to talk about right away. Is 2.2 is
2.2,
what I
yeah.
think is an ideal.
Same.
All right, so try that. That's cherry pie.
Cherry pie. Let's go, dude. Let me give it a little white.
Yeah, sorry, fucking.
good?
I just wanted to get it
No,
going.
you all good. I do that with everybody. Don't take it
Yeah,
personal.
I do it too, so I'm not
I ain't trying to
offended
get
at all.
COVID
I mean,
out here
it's
in these
kind of
streets, you feel me?
normal. It's like fucking, you don't have to share shit like that.
That's nice, bro. And this is cured trim.
That one's live resin,
one's
but I'm
live?
gonna give you some cured so you can get
Okay.
the difference. So here, so you like that though?
Yeah.
That was good
Yeah,
flavor.
it was good flavor, yeah.
Okay, good. All right, smooth.
Very smooth.
All right, good.
Yeah, for BHO too. That's
Yeah.
very smooth, bro.
All right. So now let me try this guy. And as this heats,
Little mouth coating,
yeah,
you know?
get the terps.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it should be. So then here, let me get this one going for you. Actually, you said, I remember already, the Jack Terps are not the one. Let me try this one.
Yeah, let's skip Jack.
Yeah, it's labeled like pineapple dynamite, but we all know. Orange,
If you know, you know.
orange, whatever. There's all these
Yeah.
flavors for Jack that we all
Yeah,
invented.
bro. They're all dancing around.
And we have our own battery coming out in about a week. I wish I had it for you today, but we don't. But it'll be really a cool take on a 510 battery.
You just priming it up?
Yeah, just priming it up.
First hit?
Yeah, sorry. I just want to make sure that it works properly. And that the thing about carts is they have to be soaked on that coil, or else you're going to deal with some issues. That's a size sherbet.
That's fire, bro.
That's trim.
Damn, that really tastes like sherb.
Yeah. So that's from just normal indoor trim. We're not even talking indoor smalls.
Yo, I fucks with that.
Okay, so like we can get that product to a consumer at $25 out the door.
Out the door at the club?
At the club, bro, which is the price of a distillate cart.
Yeah.
Distillate carts run from 15 to 25, you know, just depending on the provider. So this is something.
That's a quality cart.
Thank you. We're super excited about this. So that's the Acai Sherbet. I'm going to skip the Jack flavors, but now I'm going to hand you another good live resin one.
Okay.
This is the Melon Fizz.
Melon Fizz. I've been hearing about this
This
flavor,
is from
bro.
Ember Valley. So we did a little run with them lately, and I just happened to grab a couple carts there's for you to try right now. Shout out to Ember Valley. I mean, they've been growing fire. Like, I know they had some restructuring and shit go on at their company, but it seems like their shit is tight right now. Everything's coming out fire. Yeah, I love it.
I smoked a joint live on the show. I ain't say nothing, but just in case it crapped out. You know what I'm saying? But I smoked it all the way down. I don't remember what episode it was, but I complimented them when I met them. At Pin High Golf.
Yep, yeah.
That's fun.
I deal with Rachel and Christian over there, and they're great people. I love working with them. But I figured what a perfect time to kind of promote their cartridges a little bit. Like, we fill cartridges for them and for other people. If you just give us material, we can do that. That's Melon Fizz.
Melon Fizz.
That one I really like. It's got like melon, you know, it's got the right type of melon terp.
There's like a sour in there too. It's like a sour melon.
there's some gas.
Yeah, some gas. Maybe that's the gas I'm smelling.
Yeah. All right, let's see how. Oh, here we go.
Oh, geez, this fucker's ready, huh? God damn. Shit. I'm about to hit this flux.
Cool thing about this is you can go back and forth. Like, I probably only put in a 0.2, 0.3.
That motherfucking hog's hitting, boy.
It's going.
That's all for me, folks. I got shit to do today. But that's cool, man. Rube, you want in?
You want one?
Rube said, nah, bro.
I'm already getting the sweats because this is the first big dab I've had. I mean, really, like, look, bro,
That's nice, bro. What flavor was that?
Look how much shit is in there. Nothing.
I know, there's nothing in there. We're just ripping that hog, bro.
That is that's the sherbet, just original sherbet.
Original sherbet that we have? Nice, man. That's fucking cool, man.
So yeah, I wanted to bring this and share it with you, and I definitely want you to try the carts. We have one more thing, is the drink.
Oh yeah, the
so
drink.
Yo, check this out real quick. So, this is something that I don't think anybody knows how to do in our industry. We acquired this technology about a year ago when we took over the lab I talked to you about earlier. Okay. There was another failing business in there, but they had really developed some cool tech, which is. And I've done a video of this online on Instagram, on YouTube. You can check it out. But what we do is we take live resin, just, you know, normally like how you dab, and we combine that with a couple key food ingredients. We emulsify it, we sonicate it, and then we dry it. And really all you're doing through that emulsification and sonication process is you're taking that molecule and you're putting it to a certain size that it can get absorbed sublingually into your bloodstream rather than processed through your liver and kidneys.
Okay.
Yeah. So like the high is different. So when we do this process with live resin, the cool thing about it is you can make an edible that is fast acting, that you will never misjudge your dose on. You don't have to wait for the effect, and we keep all the terps intact. Okay. So like if you like,
that's fucking cool.
If you like your favorite strain, it'll taste like that. So this is just like a cherry Sprite, and I brought like for other people that are sugar sensitive, I've got just like a regular sparkling, water here if you don't like all the sugar in Sprite or anything like that. But you're going to see here, I'm just going to dump. This is probably going to be about 35, 40 milligrams, edible equivalents. And as you can see, healthy dose. It's going to start dissolving as I pour it in this Sprite. It's already starting.
What's that, the rest of it?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay.
Well, no, each one's about 10 or so. So I'm gonna
I
load
got
this
you.
one
I
up just
got
so
you.
you can really get the flavor of it.
No doubt.
That's the cool thing about it is just like tasting and smelling that forbidden fruit come off a drink.
Yeah.
That's what this strain is.
That's
forbidden
fucking
fruit.
cool, man.
And like it's almost like we're ahead of the market in this regard, where there isn't even like products developed for this yet, but we plan on doing a lot with this product in the future. We've already put it into our syrups, which we did a launch of last year.
Nice.
And they went really well, but California changed the regulations on syrups that you couldn't do 1,000 milligrams anymore. So we're re-releasing it in a 100 milligram form in a couple months here.
Wow.
But here,
cool.
I'm gonna give this just a little shake here and kind of help it out.
Yo, you know what I love about what you said? The features is that, you know, not only do you not misjudge your dose, but it's fast acting, so you feel it right away. With edibles, you know how it is. We all pop things.
There's this
edibles,
with,
whatever you
with
want to call
normal
it.
edibles. There's this ever so slow increasing
Yeah.
peak.
Yeah,
All right,
man.
and on the way up, you may not like where you're going, and then you know that your next 3 hours of your life are
Yeah.
gonna fucking suck. With this,
Yeah.
it's like this.
Yeah.
All right, you're going right up. You're gonna stay there for 30 minutes maybe, and then you're going right back down, like a
Yeah.
drink of alcohol would be absorbed.
Sure.
All right, into your
Sure.
bloodstream. All right.
That's cool.
And so it's a much different
That's
high. Like
fucking
this
cool,
is
man.
different than gummies. It'll make you feel different. I mean, we're gonna wait a couple more minutes here because I really dosed this one up. So you probably
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we just need a minute for it to dissolve. But I really do want you to get the flavor. That's the cool aspect of all of it is just like smelling
That's pretty
that
cool,
forbidden
man.
fruit. So we'll let that sit just a little bit longer. It's almost all gone in there.
And it
then-
won't make you want to take more. Like, you know, you're waiting like,
yeah,
damn, man,
so
this shit is
it
not
can
hitting
become
me.
a social experience with your friends where like, yeah, you're like, dude, instead of going out for fucking drinks, I don't like alcohol that much. You could take 5 packets of this shit with you and pour it up in whatever drink
Yeah.
you're drinking for the night.
Just
and
vibe out.
Yeah, and vibe out. And it's not like an edible high where you're like, you don't want to vibe out. You want to be home. Like
Yeah.
with this, it's just enough to where you're getting, a really good flavor and really good high off it. Let me see if this will. Shook it a little too much.
That's all right. Just gotta milk it.
Here, let me get it. All right, smell it.
It's ready?
It's about ready, but first just smell it.
Yep.
You smell terps coming off that?
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. That don't smell like a fucking
Doesn't
Sprite.
smell like a Sprite, right?
Nah.
That's forbidden fruit terps, dude.
That is forbidden fruit terps. So I'm good to sip it now?
Yeah, you're good to sip it. There's a little bit on top, but it's not going to hurt you.
Damn, man. All you syrup boys, all you lean boys, man. This the future.
Yeah, I mean,
Get off that syrup.
yeah, you definitely
What are
don't
we
want to be
calling
on
this?
that shit.
What
I
are we
mean, we
calling
call it FANS, Fast Acting Nano Serum.
Get on that
AKA
fans.
fans,
Get on
yeah.
them fans.
Yeah,
My
that-
mans. Hey, yo, my mans. Get on them fans. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that's fire, bro.
I'm
If
glad you
I
like
didn't
it.
have hella shit to do, I would smack
No,
that.
no, you're totally
Matter of fact,
good.
Let me
I
take
just
that
want-
home with me, bro. I'll put it in the fridge.
You can
I'll
definitely
hit it
home
later.
with you. Yeah,
I'll put it in my little
enjoy
cooler.
it, and then text me about the high you experience.
So this is like 40, 50?
Should be like
30,
30. I think 30,
Should
40.
be?
I mean, dude, I didn't weigh this out, but
That's
usually,
cool. I can handle that.
usually one
I
of
can
our
handle that.
packets is 10 milligrams, and
If you're in the
it's,
50, I'm cool.
it's something like 30
Yeah,
to
we're
50.
cool,
It's
bro.
not more than that. And this is something where you're gonna drink that first quarter, stop, and you're gonna feel it in your eyes like
All right.
instant.
right.
Yeah, it should just go right into you. So yeah, let me know how that is. But yeah,
let
dude,
you
I
know.
really appreciate you letting me share all this shit.
Of
and come on
course,
the show
man.
today.
This
It was
is
a good
awesome.
time.
Nobody's ever busted out the old James Bond fucking kid here,
Yeah.
man. This is great, man. So before we get out of here, I'd
Yeah.
love to share with people, the Power Network and how do we meet, and then who do you know that I should know that I should get on the show. So I feel like we just
yeah.
had a bunch of mutual friends, man.
I mean, the guy I mentioned earlier who would be good to have on, even though he's not in Cali at the moment, is that Oklahoma grower, Blake, who has companies called Thick Cannabis. He
Okay.
started out here in California, and he was one of those growers that was just, in my network who was just amazing at what he did. And then he saw an opportunity in Oklahoma. He's killing it out there right now.
Nice.
And yeah, he's always in my ear being like, hey, dude, are there any other shows and shit you go on? So Blake,
Nice.
there you go, bro. I mentioned you to somebody.
What's up? Plug me up, bro. Make
Yeah,
a connection.
I'll definitely put you guys in the
Okay,
text.
cool,
Yeah,
cool.
and I'm supposed to go out and see him with Caleb from Main Stage
Nice.
in the next like couple months. So then we'll organize a trip back here for sure
Cool.
and figure it out.
Cool. That'd be dope, man.
Awesome.
Anything you want to plug before we get out of here? How can my audience help you? Talk to us.
Just follow on the Instagram, paperplanes.extracts, everything shadow banned. Type it in letter for letter. Will come up. That's where most of the activity's at. We will have our website going live within probably when this show goes live as well. So you can check out the website too.
Nice.
Just Google Paperplanes Extracts and it should come up. Other than that, look on Weed Maps for our products. And that's it, man. Thank you guys.
Beautiful. Well, thanks for coming out, my brother.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. It was cool. It was cool getting to learn your story and getting to know you, man.
Hell yeah.
For real. So, yo, check out my boy Carter, Paper Planes. You already know where to get the good oil. Like, subscribe, hit the Patreon, support your big cool G, man. We'll see y'all next time, man. Peace, love, good pizza. We up out of here.
Hell yeah.